Hello, good evening, and welcome to Garblag Games. We're playing Spire, Bedlam Hill. I don't know if we had the trigger warning up at the start of this episode. We didn't. That's okay, because I can do it verbally. Hello.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm getting echo. Somebody's got me non-mutey. That's scary. There we go. Okay, hi, sorry. Welcome to Bedlam Hill and Spire on Garblag Games. We are going... Oh, there it is. There's the content warning. So, yes, we're talking a bit about treatment of mentally ill prisoners and kidnapping and stuff like that. So be warned, be aware, and let us know if there's anything that you want to add. Hey, it's Garblag Games himself. We better look professional now.
Yeah, boss is here.
So last week on Bedlam Hill, dun dun dun. Let me think.
It's been a long week.
I think we'll ask Pat this week. Pat looks totally ready.
Oh no!
Pat, do you remember what happened last week? Or
well, yeah, I can give you a spiel, and maybe.
Well, that's okay. Everybody else can then butt in and.
Yeah. So, last week on Spire, Bedlam Hill, we decided that action needed to be taken. Yes, but that we needed to take our action in a more deliberate approach than mere outright hostility just yet. We began to lay our plans with regards to taking down Bedlam, which was using our own ministry agents as dolls, removing their consciousnesses, lobotomizing them, and using their bodies as some sort of sick army that they're intending to launch very soon at the arena for a test run. And we're also delving into the Church of the Gun, which is performing its act for one of the landlords of the slum region in which we reside. So last week we did a number of planning things. We removed the collaborator that we kidnapped from memory, courtesy of our friend the Vermisian scholar, correct? And sorry, yes. And upon removing him from memory, we also endeavored to ascertain the exact location, the exact identity of the person that was responsible for the Church of the Gun. We believe that we do know who. Sorry, I wasn't part of that one. We split the party, so the exact nature of that particular exploit, I will leave to somebody else to explain. But while they were doing that, I spoke with my midwife mentor, who told me that there may well be an agent on the inside, ensuring that the ministry gets got. I think that's all I got for review, though. Somebody else has to take over on the other one.
So Samede, Lucian, and Admiral Rex were tasked with tracking down where Brother Hellion made his contact with whoever was his benefactor. So we traced into a warehouse district in Derelictus, where we split up and stealthily approached the warehouses. Lucian and Admiral Rex ran afoul of Mr. Winter's guards, and then Samede came down to assist. We We beat them up thoroughly, then interrogated them to find out where Brother Hellion was going and who he was meeting with. And that's when we found out that he was meeting with two of Mr. Winter's lieutenants, a giant elf-ear named Avalanche and a bone-white drow woman named Icicle. So we then decided that that Lucian and Admiral Rex would waylay Brother Hellion on the way in with information, while Samede went to the roof to try to find a vantage point where he could listen in. Admiral Rex introduced Lucian's character as an informant who had information for Brother Hellion. We implied that Mr. Winter or one of his lieutenants was trying to find a way to remove Brother Hellion from the leadership of the church and put one of their own flunkies in his place. Brother Hellion didn't necessarily buy that, but he was a little concerned, so he had Admiral Rex follow him into the meeting. While they were there, Brother Hellion received payment from Icicle, and Icicle implied that she thought it would be a good idea if Admiral Rex fought in the arena, and she wanted to make sure that Brother Hellion's troops would be on site at the arena in 2 days' time to ensure that no one left the arena during the show, and also implied that at the end of the show, it would bring about the collapse of Mother Moon's empire and her arena in some way. We believe that the dolls that the doctor are going to send in are going to be part of a giant ritual to decimate everyone in the arena. Now, we don't know if Mr. Winter is aware of this part of the wrinkle. We think that he probably just wants Moon out of the way. But if the ritual succeeds, according to Nadir's research with his associate, Shilatek, in the vault, either the heart would surge up and subsume Derelictus, or Derelictus would fall into the heart, either of which would be tragedy for Derelictus and possibly the entire Spire. So we pulled back after that, reconvened at the bar, Spire Black Knights, shared information, and then decided to spend a night resting and recovering before we met again in the morning to plan what we were going to do with the information.
Okay, so the next morning has arrived and you meet up at a street vending omelette cart. There's a drow who prepares little tubs of mixed scrambled eggs and fungus, or he will do you a wrapped omelette in flatbread for just a few coins. Very popular with people going to work in various parts of town. Quite often long queues. But it's an identifiable landmark that is always moving. So it's really convenient for the ministry. And there are a few who suspect that he may be aware of this and may be doing his part on the down low. And he has been known in the past to hold on to a message to give to another drow, should he happen to come across them.
Good guy.
So delicious, hot, eggy, mushroomy breakfast. And a convenient place to meet.
Sounds perfect.
Most of the people around you are workers and derelicts and just the sort of scrapings of drow society at this sort of time in the morning. Many of the inhabitants of Derelictus are more active at night than early in the morning. But those who go to work further up quite often have to get up very early to make their way up the spire, particularly if they want to get past Bedlam Hill and avoid too much screaming.
Indeed.
Well, my friends, are you well rested and recovered from yesterday? The day seemed to last for a week.
Yeah.
Yes.
More or
I
less.
suppose my brain is still a little bit bruised from the bad books I have been reading, but, we will
It is a good point.
suffice.
Everybody is able to recover some of their stress.
Yeah, I forgot what I took stress off of. So I have no idea now. I think it's
So
mine.
if you've slept and rested, you can recover stress that you've taken to No, that's the wrong button to press. Yes, if you've taken any blood or mind stress, a night's rest will be enough to restore 1 dot of that.
Yeah.
Armor you'd have to actually repair, and if you've met your refresh conditions on your character sheets, you may also restore some more of your resistances.
Oh, that is good to know.
So, for instance, Nadir,
I have uncovered secret knowledge.
who has uncovered secret knowledge, very definitely.
So many times.
So many times. You can recover some more of your stress. So,
Mostly in my delicate brain.
Delicate brain. You can absolutely restore all of the stress that you've taken to your delicate brain at this point then.
Nadir, are you going to finish that?
What?
That.
No, you can have it, I suppose.
Can I have repaired my mask?
Yes, you can have repaired your mask because that's what was damaging to your reputation, your shadow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, you have been able to repair your mask. So most of your stresses will have been somewhat replenished overnight if you've had the time to repair, replenish, investigate.
And I just check with Samadi what we think the, main activity for the next little while might be, because I could read something appropriate.
Well, I did spend a great deal of last night when I got done with my training and a circuit of derelictus looking for those who needed to be brought to Charnel. I spent some time thinking about it. Yesterday morning, I asked one of the Brick Street boys to send a message to one of my contacts. He knows I'm in the ministry. I'm trying to recruit him. He's a mortician and an executioner. I had originally asked him to come down here and meet with us to try to see if he knows what's happening with the dead at Bedlam. But I have a better idea. I think I've come up with a way that we might be able to separate the Church of the Gun from Mr. Winter, get the Church of the Gun in our back pocket, and possibly be able to leverage them as an army against Bedlam Hill when the time comes. But it's a multi-pronged task that will require us all to split up and take on different tasks.
Okay.
I would say
Very well.
we need first and foremost Weaves and perhaps you, Nadir, to go back to She of Long Legs and see if the ministry with their deep pockets would be willing to quietly bankroll the Church of the Gun in place of Mr. Winter, even if it's just temporarily,
so
long enough to get him.
I could read something about, stocks and shares and commerce and maybe be able to finagle some finance. Maybe.
Yes.
That would be
Okay.
exceedingly useful.
I will.
I can't imagine we
I have a
the funds to
pamphlet,
do
I
this
think,
without.
on this. I will read that.
And then if we're able to get the money, I would think that Admiral Rex could then approach Brother Hellion at the church and say that he represents a group of knights from across the North Dock who are all veterans who wish to invest in the Church of the Gun, and so they can actually serve the people. Now, of course, Brother Hellion may not agree, but at that point, if Lucian arrives once again as the informant and then actually introduces himself as a journalist from the newspaper Liberté and say that he's been looking into a story about what was happening in Derelictus and has new information that Mr. Winter and his partner have devised a plan to use the city itself and the bureaucracy to remove Brother Hellion from the church, and that plan is actually being put in motion today. Of course, Brother Hellion may not agree, but if I can convince Babako, the mortician's executioner, to write out a death certificate for Mr. Winter, he and I can approach and say that we're investigating this death certificate because there's some irregularities in it. But it will show that Mr. Winter is to be executed for being alive when his death certificate is present, and that it will be signed by the doctor of Bedlam Hill and countersigned by Mr. Winter as a witness. So if we're able to provide him a new revenue stream and show that Mr. Winter and Bedlam Hill are trying to have him executed, we may be able to win him to our side.
This does sound like an elaborate plan. I quite like it.
I'm hoping someone else took notes.
I'm going to be honest. Once I took Nadir's omelet, I kind of zoned out, and then I kind of came back when you said my name. I kind of focused.
Yeah,
That's
all of that mind stress that I got rid of, I think it's back now.
Well, it sounds elaborate on the surface, but it is actually quite simple. Essentially, we produce evidence.
It's fine. Just tell me where to be and what to do, and it will happen.
Indeed. What we're aiming to do here is to produce evidence that Hellion is not long for this world, and to provide him with an alternative to Mr. Winters.
Okay.
Who we will convince him
our good friend Feathers, who was once an information broker, surely he would have some key part to play.
Yes, he is the one who needs to come to Brother Hellion after Rex has made the offer of cash to say that he is actually a journalist from Liberté, and he's been investigating a story in Derelictus and has heard through his informants that Mr. Winter is going to act against Brother Hellion today using the bureaucracy of the Spire to have him removed.
Yes.
We all
Damn
have a
that
part to play in
bureaucracy.
this. Yes.
Okay.
This sounds like a heist.
Yeah, well, yes.
Leaves, are you going to finish your?
We'll call it Spire 6, not Ocean's 11. I think that's trademarked.
There are oceans?
And there are
What
no
are they?
oceans. Yeah, the Admiral has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what these things
yes,
are.
you can have my omelet.
Oh,
You seen a canal before? Does that count?
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
have a boat, so we should be okay.
Canals 5.
Canal is something else.
Now it's fine.
So
Yes, Admiral
everyone
Rex,
agree-
I very much want to see your boat at some point. I have read
Oh,
of them in
she's-
books,
she's
but
a
I have never
beauty.
seen such a thing.
Yeah, she's absolutely beautiful. The Arg.
Arg.
Submitting.
Okay.
yes,
One question. We are aware of several human guards outside of the gates of Bedlam. How are we so certain that these are not related to the church as well?
They
How do
may
we know
very
that he doesn't
well be.
have eyes and ears inside?
they may be. But from what we heard last night when we were spying on their meeting, Brother Hellion seems to truly want to help the people of Derelictus. And he thinks that Mr. Winter is providing that help and coin for him to do it. If his people are involved, I think they are dupes just like he is. We just need to pry him free and then turn him loose as a weapon under our control. If his people
We
are
mustn't
guards, then they're just being paid for it. But again, if we were able to turn him, that would remove an additional resource from Bedlam Hill, if in fact they are involved there. And if we find that he's actually complicit, well, we just have one other enemy to take out then.
Indeed. So,
Okay.
order of business. We probably have our friend in the Vermisian do what he does so well, much to the deficit of his own mind.
Ah, it's fine. I'm very stable. I feel fine after a night's rest. Yes, it's all good. What?
We coordinate with him to ensure that we have the funds, and then we go to She of Long Legs with a proposal.
Right.
And,
she should be able to give us the money we need, even if it's only enough to buy him off for a short while. but stress to her when you speak with her that if we were able to support the Church of the Gun long term, he would be a great weapon in the ministry and a possible source of recruits for the ministry. After all, trained soldiers and those who can use guns could be the tipping point in the war to come.
Indeed. We must temper him not to be rash, however, should he join the ministry. He's a little on the wild side. I'm not sure that bringing him fully into the fold would be wise, but perhaps as a overseen asset.
Yeah, I would not necessarily let him know that we are of the ministry, but possibly quiet recruitment among his congregation, or even perhaps his daughters might work.
Yeah, it's a softly approach. This is fine, but I have heard of other members of the ministry who sometimes can be quite loud and, how we say, explosive. Somewhere further up the Spire, not down here, but I've heard of the bad news crew. They are not to be trifled with.
We have
a joke
ways.
Literally only I'm gonna get.
Yep.
A variety of places. And
Adam, what are you going to do then?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Since it sounds like you getting the cash is step one of this plan.
Well, I don't think I'm getting the cash. I think Weaves and I are going to go and have a conversation with Wolves on 8 legs, but I am going to provide some Vermisian level financial finagling that will help to either shift or influence cult financing.
No, it's not a problem. The death certificates are actually drafted by the morticians. So if I can get Babako on board with this, and I should be, he will produce the death certificate. And
you're right about the signature.
But we do need to find the signatures. So that would be the first step, I would think, Feathers, that you might need to take, is see if you can find the signature for Mr. Winters and the doctor.
There you go, Adam. You've just been accused of guerrilla accountancy as a Vermisian accountant.
I will take that.
Risk is probably not a safe place to keep your money, I would imagine. You just put it down one place and the next it's replaced with like
lizard.
Bubbles or something.
But sometimes you put down a lizard and you get someone else's money. So
you're like, oh, sweet.
At that point, you cash out and leave.
Never come back.
What reality is this money from? I don't recognize the face on that. Why has it got tentacles?
I don't.
So then, Weaves, you and Nadir handle the money.
Okay.
Lucian, you find the signatures. Rex, you go back to the Church of the Gun and ingratiate yourself with Brother Hellion even further, and I'll meet with Babako and set everything else in motion.
Perfect.
Splendid. Right, well, we'll start with Pat and Alden then. Going to visit She of the Long Legs. So, are you going to the crash or are you going to the club?
Well, it is morning. Most likely she'd be working at the crash, I would think.
I will be babbling about fiduciary and second level investments and future shorting and all kinds of weird stuff that I, as a person, do not understand.
That makes you a better person. Don't short the future.
Yeah.
We need that.
If you buy it now, it's cheaper. Or more expensive. No, I don't understand.
Buy now, it's cheaper only applies to certain things like, Lego. Anyway.
Okay, so you're heading towards the crash. So you head a little bit up Spire towards a crash on the far side of Derelictus, where She of the Long Legs is the current head of the crash, the chief midwife. And as you approach, I will ask you to make an investigate and low society or investigate and religion roll.
Oh, well, I will be able to do one of those things.
All right, let me hit. Let me hit low society and investigate.
I'm feeling more religious today.
All right, and 1, 2. So it's 4d10, right? Is it d10s?
Yes. Ah, I got 2.
So there we go. Nadir, you have succeeded in what you're doing, but it's going to come with some stress attached. So you're going to take a point of shadow stress as you go striding down the road, and you notice right outside the creche a sort of armored carriage.
Oh.
There are 6 drow in chains attached to the carriage. Looks like they're still in their durance. They're all quite young.
Okay.
Pat, you notice the same thing. However, you recognize this as a secure transport used for prisoners who are considered to be dangerous. And you also notice that it says Bedlam Hill on the side of it.
Yes. Why is this outside the crash?
We should investigate further.
We either need to be very fast or very quiet.
We should be quiet.
Okay. I can
Blend
do
with the
this.
shadows.
Yeah. Okay. I read a book about that once, but I forget.
I would like to sneak and probably low society here.
Okie
And
dokie.
kind of try and get a better look at what's going on. Should I roll sneak?
Yes, please do.
Very tempted to hang back at this point.
The 10. All right.
Yeah, which is another thing you're very, very good at. So,
Quite
yes,
sneaky.
you sneak up on the creche. Now, possibly aided by the fact that you're a midwife approaching a creche, nobody particularly bats an eyelid. You walk with purpose, like you belong there. Everybody assumes that you do. And inside, you can hear quiet voices speaking most insistently. There are 2 midwives having a hurried conversation with one another about what's going on.
Is it possible for me to?
Yes,
make
I mean,
out
you can
what
literally just slope up on them because you too are a midwife, so they're going to kind of just include you in their circle straight away.
Very well. Oh, by the way, I would have checked earlier with my investigate roll that I did well on. Is there anybody that I recognize being chained up in there?
No, there's no one in there at the minute.
Okay. All right.
So the
then
2
I'm going to
midwives
swoop up
at the
on them.
door are arguing. One of them they're both about your age. One is slightly younger, one is about your age. The younger one is saying, I can't believe it. There's no way that she would do such a thing. It can't possibly be true. And the older one saying, you've seen it though. They wouldn't be here otherwise. They have the authority. They can do this if they need to.
Well, none of this sounds good.
Sisters.
And the younger ones, but her, of all people, she taught so many of us. How could it possibly be true? At this point, coming down the stairs is She of the Long Legs, flanked by 2 very large, muscular drow wearing blank masks and the vests of hospital orderlies. Each of them is holding one of her arms.
I was gonna drop the glass, but honestly, I don't want to break it.
Yeah, gotta commit.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'll commit. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I only have so
Moment has
many of
passed.
these.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh my god. I don't.
So what is outside? Just so that
Outside, you've got this sort of coach with 4 chained up drow attached to the front of it to pull it.
and it's an
There's
armored
a
car.
hospital orderly sat on top of it as a driver,
Okay.
and the back doors are open. So it's like an armored hospital for Bedlam Hill.
I probably can't without making a scene recede and go back to grab Auden before they get in and interfere with this.
So the other two midwives sort of step back up against the wall as she passes. Let's see. She fixes you with a glance as she goes past, and you can see that she's struggling a little bit. Her eyes are a little bit blurry, but she stops for a second and stumbles, and then slowly closes one eye at you, and then carries on going.
Does she say wink?
She doesn't know.
Oh, she is much better at this than I am.
Really a mistress of stealth.
This is what always go wrong.
Auden, outside, you see She of the Long Legs being brought out by two orderlies, and they sort of
I would like
firmly
to
assist
intercede.
her. Go ahead. How do you wish to intercede?
I wish to approach the carriage in a loud voice, declaiming that they are interfering with my research and they need to move the wagon off of the summoning circle. Otherwise, the blood magic will go very, very wrong.
One of the orderlies holding She of the Long Legs,
I think I'm going to Bedlam now.
steps up to you and just puts a hand on your chest. He says, right, back up, sunshine. Do your magic in a minute. This is important.
I do not know this sunshine of which you speak.
Sorry.
He just sort of keeps pushing you back. He's significantly larger than you, so unless you want to get into a proper bust up with him,
do it, sunshine. Magic's later.
You might going to stab him.
I'm going to follow out. I'm assuming if there's a crowd, I'll blend in with it. But if I have to just walk out myself, then I will.
There isn't much of a crowd, actually. There are two younger midwives who are inside. Both sort of go back to tending their charges, the young infant drow. And the crowd outside see the wagon and go down different streets. There's this sort of empty space around the front of the crash that nobody seems to want to come near.
Very well. So I have a question regarding my ability to pluck the web.
Yes.
Do I have to have already... So can I have already constructed some effigies? Do they have to be specific to the people that... or do I have to construct them with regards to the people that I'm trying to have act upon each other? So pluck the web is you bind up...
Yeah, you bind them, the effigies. It doesn't entirely say. I suppose you could have two effigies pre-bound, and this would use them up. Mm-hmm. So you've got two small web effigies that you make each day, and then probably have to discard in the evening.
Yeah.
So
well, I think now's the fucking time.
Well, they could be like dolls that you change the hairstyle of. So when you see one of them like a kind of quiff, you just kind of go quiff, and then it's like, there we go. Looks close enough.
Yeah, or tidy up the hair.
So yeah,
exactly.
I will allow you to have two generic ones and to spend a little bit of your casting time manipulating them to look like these guys. So that will be your first turn, will be manipulating the dolls to look
As for Nadir,
stab away, my good friend.
I read the wrong book, frankly.
Last
week I read a book on pugilism and the stabbing and all of this, but I'm bored of this now. I was going to
you are rolling
someone's finances.
Just bankrupt them.
Whatever, and low society.
Oh yeah, I have so many points in this.
Calling their mortgage.
I repossess your equipment.
I repossess your soul.
Well, if I could do this, that would be fun. Yeah. All right, I'm running my
I actually
one
like
dice.
the image of Weaves like peeking out a window, trying to like, oh god, he's got a really all right. How to get that ear in the right place?
So what are you stabbing him with? What are you carrying?
With my concealable dagger.
You have a small concealable dagger. So you
small
whip out your small concealable dagger and you shiv this bloke.
Yeah.
He's a large gentleman who has... Oh, look at that. She's actually got the little effigies. That's preparation right there.
I like to think that the deer is kind of quite skinny, but in a long, gapey robe, a lot like Rincewind, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of the image I'd got as well.
Yeah, same.
So
Only
it's
with
just this
possibly a
incredibly
ridiculous
scrawny, kind of gangly, with big moustache and the beret, obviously. This extraordinarily gangly, spindly creature is now attempting to shiv this really quite large orderly.
You stick the blade in and you give him what for.
Waggle, waggle.
And he's not best pleased about this.
I told you not to interrupt my research. Now your blood will join my ritual.
Oh my god.
He gets hold of your wrist where you
Ow.
stand,
Definitely going to Bedlam.
and he's going to headbutt you.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Your head is your most important tool.
Yes, not my brain! Not my beautiful brain!
Take an arm, I don't care, but not the brain.
The toes, I'm not using them.
Right, so
there.
he does in fact headbutt you,
Ow!
which kind of causes the cut in his belly to get a little bit worse. So he hisses in pain
Well,
as
good.
he does so. But the headbutt is delivered, and you take 1 point of blood stress.
Well, that's not nice.
Does that take you to 0 blood?
I don't believe Spirit. Please hold.
I'm pretty sure
I
you
have
get like
armor.
a base
Aha.
one.
Do you have armor on your face?
No, sadly, no. Yeah, that takes me to blood.
Okay,
Oh, do
so
you only have one? Oh shit.
Yeah, I only have one. Because
He-
I'm of the mind.
he nuts you, and you lose your blood stress. So
Ow.
I'm going to have to make a check against Fallout.
I'm talking
Yeah,
how much-
but so you only have 1 point of blood stress, though, right? At this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
No,
So-
he's down to 0 blood stress at this point. So
Well, no,
that's it.
but I mean that's like armor that you fill all that up before
Yeah.
you get
Oh, yes,
any
yeah.
stress. So
So it's roll a d10. I'm going to roll a d10, not you. And 5.
Fine.
You're okay. So he's headbutted you, and your nose is smashed across your face, and you,
Oh, this is interesting.
but you're
Okay.
still able to continue functioning.
That's good. I'm going to have to get this fixed quite quickly because I can't keep this up for long.
The other orderly is shoving She of the Long Legs into the back of the wagon.
I'm sure I had an assistant. I wonder where they went. Hemp.
So that's his action, and then we come to the next go, and we'll start off with
Gotta
you
capture
again,
the smile, the little smile.
What are you going to do?
Oh, does Alden start?
Yeah, I'm going to let him start us off the next round.
More of the
Because your
stabbing.
last round was making the effigies.
Stabbing. More stabbing.
More
Basically,
stabbing.
More stabbing. There's not really much else I can do unless I can actually cast some blood
Head's butting
magic.
back.
But I don't think I can.
Go on, try and stab him again then.
Okay.
You should headbutt things because you get reptile powers for doing it.
That's not a universal truth, no.
Ah, no,
Just because
really.
it happened one time.
I got a 5.
Ooh, a 5.
Have I got any rerolls yet? Hint, hint, chat.
Anybody want to give
Flutters
reroll?
eyebrows, flutters eyebrows.
I'm afraid
not
you-
eyebrows,
you
eyelashes.
Pull the dagger out and go to stab him again, and it does not succeed. And he twists your hand around,
Oh, that hurt. I
giving you
did
another point of blood
not
stress.
enjoy any of this.
And
Why are you so mean? What is wrong with you? Why?
I know you only stabbed him.
you've got a
you're
reroll.
still okay.
Thanks, non-anomaly. You're still okay, but
Thank
he's
you.
twisted your arm and headbutted you in the face, and you're not terribly comfortable right
I
now.
don't like this dance. I don't like this modern dancing. I don't think it really works for me.
You've seen better days.
Mm.
Am I going to have to get you out of Bedlam Hill later in this section?
Yeah.
I like the idea also
Likely.
while this is happening, you're drawing on your accountancy and like quoting rare coins.
The numinous lore tells us that the collection of...
Luckily, though, he stabs himself back onto your knife as he comes in with a big punch with the other hand.
This seems unlikely, but
It does seem unlikely, but he really screwed up that punch. Obviously, he's more unsettled by the bleeding that he's doing than before.
It is my magics, you see.
that's clearly
I've
what it is.
infected your blood.
That's my magic.
That's my magic, you say. I have infected
His companion
your blood.
is spending this go locking the back door
Oh,
Soon I will own your mind.
of the carriage, and then Pat.
Puppet time.
Spider
Please.
time.
Oh, that's good, because I've just told him about taking a
So I
break.
have
This should be
constructed
funny.
my 2 effigies.
You have constructed your 2
The
effigies.
effigies are not of individual people, but rather of groups, as is specified in the Spire
Ooh.
book. The groups being the orderlies and the slaves driving the cart.
Ah,
Don't want to mix them up.
nice.
I wrap them together and see to it that they act upon each other in a way that the GM permits. I have to roll for this, though.
You do. It's
But
compel and occult, but you've made a wonderful little prop, so I'm going to let you
Made
roll
a
with
little-
mastery. So that's compel plus occult. You can add an extra dice, but your maximum is 4 dice. Sorry, I should have mentioned that the maximum was 4 dice.
There we are. Roll 4
4 plus the 1 we get, or
Ooh.
4 total?
4 total.
Okay.
Okay,
So there you go. You succeed.
You do have a reroll.
You do have a reroll. That's success. With
actually,
a
I think
cost.
maybe I'll re-roll. No,
Okay.
I'm gonna re-roll. I'm using my re-roll real quick. Roll D10.
No takesies backsies though.
Ah,
It doesn't matter.
Never
You're
know.
all good.
better.
still a success at a cost, but
Yeah.
slightly better success at slightly costier cost. No, so you succeed at a cost,
I'll
Lessy
take the
costy.
cost.
and the cost is going to be you are drawn into this web as well.
Uh-oh.
Just looks so much fun.
So pick a side, Pat, and what you want to happen.
Are you going to take this? I say to the slaves driving the cart. This woman, who may well have raised some of you, is being dragged away by this cart. You're going to stand there
Wait.
and let this happen.
Mama?
I have a question. Do they not have horses in this world? I just
I
realized
think
They're
they're
literally
expensive.
using
Oh.
grouse slaves.
My brain
this
just went,
cart.
what?
It's called durance. It's
Horses don't like the indoors either.
called, which is Spire.
This is not right.
Okay.
This isn't even something that we can endure.
And what do
This.
you want the orderlies to be doing?
Lying down and being...
I want there to be a fight between the slaves and the orderlies.
Okay.
And of course, I want the slaves to win.
I'll let you have orderlies versus non-orderlies rather than
Oh.
orderlies versus slaves, because the slaves are kind of tied up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thanks.
Aren't you roped into this? Though?
Yes, you are roped into
think I
this
have
as
been.
well. So
Okay.
I
that's fine,
might be
just
roped
checking.
into it in that I'm
Apart-
working on their vines or something.
So yeah, these
Moving
drow
towards-
are chained to the carriage, so that at the minute the best they can do is refuse to run and start sort of struggling against their bonds. So that's what they start to do. The third orderly takes an interest at this point and cracks a whip in your direction.
Hmm.
Shuggle the chains off quickly. Shuggle as
Shuggle.
hard as you can.
Juggle.
I'm assuming I can't make another roll for this until next round.
No, so he cracks out at you with a whip.
Oh, that's a
You
sword.
hear the people sing, do you hear?
Oof.
And it catches you across the face and slices into your cheekbone, dealing you 1 point of blood stress
It's a sexy scar though.
as he does so. But in doing so, he leans forward and one of the slaves grabs at his ankle and grabs hold of him. So this carriage isn't going anywhere at the minute. You've got a hospital carriage, in the back of which you've got She of the Long Legs locked in. You've got an orderly stood on top of it who's just flicked a whip at you. It's one of the slaves grabbing his leg, and then you've got the other two orderlies behind who are having a quiet chat with Alden.
Oh, it's not very quiet. There's a lot of screaming, mostly from me. And I'm also telling them about how all of their investments are really bad.
Oh,
The earliest opportunity I get, I'm going to be spending to break their chains.
okay. So Alden, back to you.
Stabbing.
Stabbing.
No dice in anything offensive, but I'm just going to carry on.
How dare you? You are investing your feet into my gut in a very improper manner.
I do not feel this is at all appropriate. I am going to continue to attempt to stab you in a really very unprofessional way. I'm very sorry. I was better at this the other time, but now... Hey-ho. I can only apologize for the poor quality of the stabbing.
Okay, so you do stab once again at this guardsman. So I need to think about stress for him, really. Ooh. It is rolling over, isn't it? No, it's not. It's rolling under. You roll over, it's fine. Yeah, you have to roll under to actually take fallout.
Yeah.
So he remains upright and is decidedly not happy with you, looking somewhat worse for wear.
I get bloody D3 every time, but
My
hey-ho.
video is not playing ball today.
You just
I might
fuzz.
have to turn my background off at this rate.
No.
So you'll be able to see that I'm not actually in an exotic location at all.
Oh no!
Yeah, Ben and I shared the same cupboard.
Wait, not in an exotic location. You mean you're in America?
You'll be able to see the same door that Nye's sitting behind that I'm on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, cupboards are like the Remisian.
Yeah.
Oh, very much
Which is
so.
why both of them lead out into Safino's front room.
This is why Safina has to move so often.
Yeah.
Oh, they keep finding me. God damn it.
So you have stabbed him. He has been hurt once again. You've actually got a couple of puncture wounds in him. His white coat has got a couple of red marks around the gut.
He's not going to be able to clean that uniform out.
He's starting to get a little bit less confident on his feet.
Have you considered moving your money out of a standard savings account and into maybe something I don't know that has a better rate of interest? Stab.
And he's going to try and throw you.
Oh, this is interesting.
Because he's still got that hand that you're stabbing him with.
Suplex.
And he's going to try and fling you by the arm away from him. So he does so. He flings you backwards away from him, but in so doing rips open one of his wounds a little bit more and sits down on the floor for a moment.
Yes, you consider your life choices.
Yes.
So
Some fallout.
some fallout. Where are you, Fallout? I know you're around here somewhere. Here we go. He is bleeding.
Good.
A lot.
Okay.
So he's sat down on this dirty pavement with these 4 wounds in his gut, kind of all like bleeding slowly onto the floor. He's out of action for the time being. His friend, however, who is now locked, She of the Long Legs, into the back of the wagon, is going to try and bear hug you.
Oh.
Sorry, that was D8s. I'm not rolling D8s against you.
No.
There you go. So the guy behind you grabs a hold of you around the arms and you stick him in the leg a little bit as he does. So he's got hold of you, both of your arms, in this big bear hug. He's now got a problem, though, because if he lets go, you'll stab him.
It had been, those were D6s, weren't they? You're supposed to roll D10s.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I am supposed to roll D10s.
I mean, much as I like the highest.
That
you
explains
can
why I
get being
keep
a
getting
6.
6s.
We love you, so we
Oh,
tell
you're
you.
going easy on us.
Well, the
That's
same
weird.
thing applies with the D10s. So, yeah, he grabs you from behind in this big bear hug, and your knife sort of grazes against his leg as he does so. He's now in a catch-22 situation. He's got you. You're not going anywhere, but if he lets go of you to open the back door, you'll be able to move around again.
What are you going to do now?
That is the question.
What is your 5-year plan for your investments?
Which leads us back around to Pat and Weaves. What is Weaves going to do?
So, how would
this orderly
unshackling-
is not a drow. This orderly is a human.
Wow,
Human.
they're just breaking out all the minorities for this train. God,
They're a diverse employer.
actually, we're the fucking oppressed
Diversity.
majority. All right, so how would it work to remove their chains?
Okay, if
Do
you
I
want
have to get a key from this orderly, or do I
remove
have
some
can I
chains.
break?
Getting the key would be the quick way of doing it. A steal and crime roll would let you pick the locks. What other spider powers have you got?
Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of running low on my spidery powers.
Spiders are well known.
I can determine what somebody wants more than anything else.
What does the orderly want more than anything else? I want to get out of here. Oh,
Not to be stabbed by the crazy man.
Wait, actually, though, hold on. I'm pretty good at convincing people to do what I want. I will kind of use that ability. It doesn't say it takes an action or anything. Although I don't exactly understand how actually.
Yeah, so you could try and convince this guy to do something for you. Oh, we've got some more rerolls coming in.
I'm using my protector's eye in that case to determine once per situation what this particular NPC wishes to protect above all else.
They're nuts.
this is not the midwife you're looking for.
Right now, what this guy wants to protect more than anything else is his own reputation.
Oh, really? Oh.
He is absolutely terrified of not being taken seriously.
Oh, okay. Wow, over death itself.
I am not taking him at all. Well, them at all.
It's
seriously.
a different orderly. The orderly that you're fighting is most afraid of being stabbed right now.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
All right.
I guess he's only being grabbed by one of the slaves. So I guess
He's
he's
being
thinking
slightly
he can,
zombied, really. Kind
yeah,
of.
I think he's thinking he can get out of it. Fair enough.
Okay, I think I've got my argument here. After he whipped me and then he got grabbed by the drow beneath him, I swoop on in and I stare at him I look him in the eye quite intently. I don't have time to stare or be creepy by lingering in my demeanor. I say point blankly, "Those orderlies back there are making a fool of you. This whole situation is a malarkey. None of this is even remotely acceptable or condonable. And you, by participating in it, are demeaning yourself and your stature. Stand down now and see yourself vaulted amongst the peoples of this town, righteous and respected for your conscientious decision to stand down."
So can you make a compel and low society roll? Didn't mean to talk over you there. My bad.
It's fine. I just had to make.
There was a pause, and I was like, "Okay, go."
I tend to ramble. I'm sorry.
It's at this point that he ponders it, and then the slaves pull him down, and he's like, "No!" It's like,
Eat him.
All right.
Nice.
Yes, you absolutely succeed, and he takes one look down at these guys that are clawing at his feet. And he takes one look at you in your red robes in front of a creche and the drow children looking out of windows at him. And he says, "No, fuck this." And he jumps down off the wagon, booting that drow in the face as he goes. And he cheeses it off down the street on foot.
Yes.
Did he leave the keys?
No, he's got them on his belt, but it's possible the others may also have them on their belts.
Good God!
The one I'm cuddling?
You didn't ask for his keys. You didn't ask for his keys. You just asked for him to leave.
I told him to stand down. I thought he understood. All right. This is what I get for trusting humans.
With
All right.
He said,
hell.
fuck this, and left.
So the two drow orderlies at the back, you've got one sat on the pavement that you can now see. The wagon is starting to turn around towards them as the slaves now take notice of this one bleeding guy on the floor. And they start pulling round towards
Oh dear.
and the carriage next to you is starting to turn.
Oh, this is interesting. Are you enjoying the hug? Is it nice? Also,
What are you going to do?
those stock options we were discussing. Oh, stab. Mostly
You
stabbing.
kill both of these guys just by basically going stab, 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 stab.
Stabby. Bit more stabbing and some stabbing.
The
Basically, is
bigger
what's
they
happening
the
here.
bigger they are.
A carrion? Oh, my word.
Yeah, I will quite happily take that.
Oh my
So
god.
You're just
So
like,
that's one extra stress too when you get
Yeah.
a 10 on a fight.
you're just kind of stabbing blindly behind you in the hope that you'll do something. And you hear him hiss as you stab something in his thigh that is
That's
probably more
important.
than
Yeah.
he had reason to believe.
Oh, he's full of air.
He's
I know
not
it's
full of air. It's not
arterial
hissing out through the hole,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, I know.
You've
Just
just
arterial blood.
stabbed
Fell out
him
of
in
window.
a major blood vessel in his leg. There is now blood pouring down his leg. He's taken an awful lot of stress.
Did I mention the blood magic? Did I? I think I did quite loudly. I think you all heard me talk about the blood magic. And now here you are contributing to my research. Thank you so much. You could have just stepped away, but no. Here we are hugging while you die.
He died 3 minutes ago.
The
I
first guy
continue
has
to
kind of
taunt his corpse.
keeled over unconscious in the gutter, and this one lets go of you from his bear hug, kind of flings you forward from his bear hug as he staggers backwards, clutching at his thigh, which you could see blood coming out of at a rate that it's not meant to come out of bodies at. You're sure you read something once about how much blood wasn't supposed to come out?
Yes, could you try and get some of that in a bucket? I would like to use it for later.
He starts staggering off down the street. Pat, he goes past you as he does. Do you wish to take an action as he goes past?
I think now the weighted chain falls out of my robes. Now is the time to fight. Low society.
So we're looking for fight and low society.
All right. And can it only be 4? Can it be 5?
Yeah, 4 is your most number of dice.
Wow, I've got so many opportunities for it to be 5. And wow, okay, I'll take it, bro.
I'd take that. Yeah.
Bitch got a weighted chain.
So with a menacing hiss, the plum weight on your chain slides through your fingers, and then with a whir through the air and a crunch as it meets his face, the weight swings out, smashing him in the face, ruining his looks completely. Teeth come out, his nose is shifted across his face. You're pretty sure the orbit of at least one of his eyes is never going to be the same again. And he kind of skids to a halt up against the drain pipe nearby, slides down the drain with a gurgle as his blood pumps out into the drain.
No, I need that. No. I told him to get a bucket.
The drow slaves who were pulling the carriage,
I grabbed it.
their eyes are kind of clearing ever so slightly. At least the one who was trying to pull the guy down, his eyes are starting to clear. The other 5 have dragged their way forcefully over to the unconscious drow orderly and are like surrounding him, punching and kicking, and you occasionally see like a little spray of blood come up. It looks like they're literally tearing at him with their hands. They've gone a bit feral and are just murdering this man.
Okay. Waves, that one that you hit with the chain, they had the keys?
I jangle them because my
Okay.
character definitely would have grabbed them.
Okay, good.
Yeah, all of the orderlies had a set of keys on their belt. You can see the most aware of the slaves has managed to wrestle those keys free and has unlocked himself. And he kind of comes staggering over to you. He's got a few bruises on him. some of which are very recent, like the last few minutes recent. One where he's been kicked in the face, and a couple of the others from where the other drow are just flailing wildly and elbowing and kneeing and kicking and punching. And he comes over and he looks at the two of you, and he looks particularly at Weaves, and he says, Mistress, I throw myself on your mercy. Save me. And he prostrates himself at your feet.
I will do my best.
Like that's the first time Pat's had a man prostrate themselves at her feet and call her mistress.
It isn't. I kind of pat him on the head, and I bring his, bring his chin up, kind of like that, and I look down and press my forehead to his and say, I will try. Help me free our midwife.
He kind of passes you the keys and then curls over in a fetal position in the road.
You've done so well.
Just pulls himself in on it. What would Charnel do?
I honestly, I give him a little back pat, and then I go over to the I gotta make sure, aftercare. I go over to the carriage and I unlock the door.
She of the long legs appears to be asleep on a bench inside. She's not chained up or anything. There are chains in there ready to chain someone up and a loop on the floor to attach them to. But she's kind of pulled her legs up onto the narrow bench that's inside and is also curled up in a sleeping position.
I approach just to ensure that she doesn't have some intent to attack the first person that she sees, masquerading that she's asleep.
She doesn't seem to be moving. She appears to be completely out of it.
I grab her and then I guess I take her on my shoulders if I can.
Yeah, she's completely unconscious.
Oh, God.
Whatever they did that made her face go all slurry earlier is clearly still taking effect. So you carry her.
Fuck, we've made a huge scene.
Oh, yes. What do you want to do, Weaves? We have a carriage now. We could go somewhere else.
Joyride.
Have a carriage.
Do you have people to pull it?
Well,
Says Bedlam.
No.
we could ask the
We could request that they assist us of their own free will, yes.
for endurance.
That seems like such a cheeky thing to ask.
Excuse me, hello.
I know, I
We
just
just
unchained
need
you from
you.
this, but would you mind terribly?
Well,
They could push it.
it's kind of
To have a bit of a change, you can
durance,
push
though,
it.
is that every drow kind of has to do the durance unless they're going to be a member of Derelictus or the slums.
Yeah.
So we
No.
we can't really do them out of a job unless they actually want to.
Find a hill and push
And then
yourself down there.
surf down it.
Some durances are better than others. This is clearly not one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Not a good
All right.
one.
What I do is I approach the
There is
the
worse.
drow who prostrated himself at my legs, and I say, we're going to have to move all of this. We've made a huge scene, and for me to protect you, we're going to have to undo what we've done as much as possible, at least in the eyes of the public at large. We're going to have to move this carriage somewhere else. If you are willing, we may need your assistance in taking it back.
I think we
I
do.
say, as I remove my ceremonial robes, but I will walk out front with you.
Can you make a compel and religion roll, please? because he very much doesn't want to. I'm not saying you're forcing him to. You're inspiring him to. That's what the compulsion is for here.
I think I got a reroll.
Yep,
I think you have.
Yeah, I think you might want it.
Well, and since 4 is the only thing I can do, okay, well, that's slightly better. Doesn't have a success in it, though.
These drow are in no fit state
to
be pulling this carriage anymore. The only thing that was keeping them going was the threat of violence. They're all skinny, scrawny, bruised drow teenagers that would be better served being taken into the creche and looked after like they were 6 again.
Okay, well.
The 2 midwives inside, one of them, the younger one who refused to believe that she of the long legs could possibly do anything bad, has come out and with shock on her face, she started to help this boy up off the street. The others are all sort of covered in the blood of the orderly. They're starting to, they're just sort of rocking backwards and forwards. Some of them are crying. Some of them are just sat dead-eyed, gazing into the distance. While you made a very compelling argument, these drow are not in any fit state to support it.
No, they're not. I feel silly for even bothering with it. It was never a good proposal from the start.
You know what we need? We need a very large, not very caring person.
Okay, let's jump across then to do Aaron and Nye. I believe you guys were together and going to the Church of the Gun.
Nye was going to go to the Church of the Gun.
And I was going to the Church of the Gun.
Yeah, we
first.
split the party 4 ways. Yeah,
4-way split. That's right.
Yeah,
keep it easy.
Kind of split.
That's how you know you've got a pro GM. 4-way split. Nye, come on, you could have done a 5-way split. Adam, what's wrong with you? Trying to make my life easy or something?
Sorry.
Yes.
Like you've never dissolved an entire metal castle and then changed sides.
True.
All right. Okay. Nice. So you approach the Church of the Gun. They haven't moved around as much recently. They appear to have grown slightly in number. So there are a couple of new converts there. There are a few more people wearing sort of makeshift church robes made out of old sacks. They've got some old sacks and they've cut a hole in the top and split the sides, and they're wearing them like tabards, and they've painted a crude picture of a gun on the front. But it's closer to a uniform. They're starting to look a little bit more common. You can actually see there are a couple of them working on some more right now. So they've got these old grain sacks. They're cutting the grain sacks. They're painting the symbol on the top, hemming them in. They're Hessian. They're not comfortable, but you put them on overclothes. It gives people in the church a little bit more uniformity.
Okay.
And so the church appears to be getting a little bit more serious about stuff. You've got the original group that you were familiar with.
Yes.
You've got Brother Hellion, you've got the daughters, and you've got the 3 acolytes. The acolytes are now individually working with small groups of tabard-wearing churchgoers who are now practicing with their own guns. Cheap pistols, rifles, shotguns for the most part. But when the members of the church hold them and care for them, they appear to get nicer.
Yeah. Okay.
This is getting more and more dangerous.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Okay. Well, I'll be like, hello, hi, oh shit, wait. Did somebody give me the Lagrange rifle?
I'm assuming he probably would do, because he has done every other time you've gone there.
Okay, that's fine. I was just thinking like, oh no. Because I don't have a gun. Okay, so yeah, I'll be friendly. I'll be like, hello, oh, that looks awesome. You should have more pew-pews coming out of the gun, like just kind of trying to be really casual and polite. But I'll kind of make my way over to Brother Hellion. Oh, I've got to ingratiate myself. How the fuck do I do that?
So, Sister Pin, sees you approach and comes over to meet you. Lets her group carry on practice shooting. This whole place is a shooting gallery now. There's constant snapping, popping, and cracking going off as things are being fired away. Sister Pin comes over. Brother Lagrange, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yes, I'm very good. Yes.
Can we
how
get
are you?
Something to eat, something to drink?
No, I'm all good. I had several breakfast omelets on the way here. It was quite nice.
Lovely,
yes.
Wonderful to hear. We've made something for you. I hope you'll like it.
Okay.
Come this way, and she takes you into the revival tent.
Oh no, please not.
And the tabard she presents you with isn't made of Hessian. It's made out of muslin, so still not the most expensive of fabrics, but it's double layered muslin in 2 different colors. It has a picture of a Lagrange rifle on the front of it, and the word Lagrange printed down the back in Drow runic script.
Okay.
Now it will cover your lazy dog tabard if you were to put it on.
Yes, but I feel like, the lazy dog is like, they're nice, but they're more like friends. This is more like family to me. And
she does say to you, look, I know this would cover your uniform tabard when you're wearing it, but you don't have to wear it all the time. If you've got business with your own people, please feel free to dress as you like. I just thought this might make you feel more at home. Among the church folk.
Of course.
And
who
to
made
really
it?
sort of show how inspirational we found your work.
Yeah, who made it? It's very well made. I want to thank them.
Well, she blushes a little.
Oh, okay. Right. Now I've got to wait. Is Rex savvy enough to use? Oh, God. Okay. Right. I think he would be. Yeah. Oh, well, I can see the handiwork. It's very well made. Thank you. I will put it on right now. I was actually imagining they just give me those big sacks that potatoes come in. How they have probably got smaller.
That's what most of them are made of. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got the industrial size. This was specially bought. They usually keep
a bigger sack
feeds
just
in this.
for you.
No. I'll put it on. Thank you. It's very well made. Master craftsmanship, of course.
Thank you. Yes. Can I help you with anything, or have you just come to be among us?
Oh, I could be really horrible, but I don't know. Fuck it. I think I will be. It's further evolution. No, actually, I came to see you.
Me?
Yeah. No. I thought your gunmanship. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah. Your I was impressed by your gunmanship. So I just I thought it'd be nice to have a chat about that kind of stuff. Mono.
Well,
I don't know what a mono is, but
woman.
Yeah. But yes, that
she says, a little taken aback, and blushes again.
I'm a horrible person.
Well, shall we go to the pistol range together?
Yes, be my guest.
So she takes you out back of the revival hut, and there's a little pistol range set up. She says, well, the others are practicing at the range out there, but this is the range that Brother Hellion lets the initiates of the church use. So this is where I come to practice when I'm on my own.
Yes.
Or when I'm having lessons.
Yes. But of course, yes. It feels a bit weird to use a rifle versus a pistol. That feels a bit, I don't know, maybe that's normal, but it feels a bit weird to be like, I've got my pistol, I've got the fuck off rifle. I don't know. I'll probably pick up a rifle. I'll probably pick up a pistol and have a bit of shooting practice. I don't know how adept I'll be at that. Oh, I guess it's all the same skill.
It's the same skill, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So you sit there shooting off some shots. Do you want to make a fight and low society or fight and religion roll?
It will be low society because I have a dice in that. So it's 3 dice. Roll and 3.
Things you did not expect to see. To flirt, roll firearms.
How is it?
I strongly
just
approve.
For one moment, take a step back before we get into this lovely scene. How is it that the main fighter person is this suave, like, infiltrator, and our 2 suave infiltrators are the ones that got in a massive fisticuffs fight, and one very successful?
I mean,
you're so
hunky,
hunky,
I guess.
Yeah, you're so good looking and hunky. They just let you in.
Those pets.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, let's do this.
So yeah,
shooting.
you are amazing. You're an astonishing shot, and she is wowed by your prowess and expertise. And she asks you to sort of come in close and maybe give her a few pointers.
Naturally, of course, yes.
Oh
of course.
my.
So with your arms wrapped around her, correcting her hand position as she takes some shots, she kind of leans into you a little bit.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
I've actually forgotten what I was specifically meant to do.
A group of knights are wanting to finance the church.
Oh, yes.
It all got too steamy for Nye, and all
No,
of the plan went out of his head.
No. All I remembered was ingratiate yourself. I can't remember what I was ingratiating for.
You just go ingratiate yourself with everyone.
Yeah. So, how do you bring this up after?
Non-anomaly says bullseye to the heart.
Okay. Well, actually, yeah, there is something you could help me with. You see, I know some folk, okay? Some knights, if you will. And they like, see, I was going around, I was telling them about this church and what a good thing it's done for the community, and they were quite impressed. So they were wondering if it'd be possible, could there be some kind of financial transaction kind of thing? They give you a bit of money, makes the church bolster a bit, and it works out. I'm sure someone as talented as yourself could see the benefits of such an endeavor.
She kind of turns around and leans back against the boxes marking the beginning of the shooting range.
I figured as much.
And she's, well, I don't make the decisions on behalf of the church, but I know I'd like to work closer with you.
Yes, I feel the same way. If it's possible, if you see the father. Wait, question: is he actually their biological father, or have I been? Is it
not
the term
hers, no.
father like a religious term, like the father?
He's not a father. He's a brother.
Brother, right?
He is the father of the 3 daughters, but she's not one of the 3 daughters. She's a sister of the church.
Okay, this is why I failed religious studies, because I'm like, I don't know why you're all. Yeah, never mind. Okay, well, if it's I guess I'll have to see Brother Hellion about that. But I'm quite happy to continue practicing shooting. That works for me. It's been very enjoyable.
Well, I think we've had enough time on the range now. Perhaps we could go somewhere a bit more private.
Oh, right.
For special target practice.
Right. Gotcha. Rex in the back of his mind is going, I was not prepared for any of this.
Where is Percival right now? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Roll fight, motherfucker.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll go then. That's fine.
So, Sister Pin takes you to her tent.
Yeah.
Pours a glass of wine for the two of you.
Yeah.
It's bad wine, but it's wine nonetheless. And takes her pistols off and sets them on one side. It's quite a small, cramped tent. Don't worry, Nye, I'm about to do veils, mate. I'm about to do
massive veils, please.
Here come the veils.
Yep.
And then a veil is drawn over the situation as it proceeds.
That's a very long rifle.
I don't
fail. I also like the idea of Rex going, we can't do target practice inside. That's the right. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
Meanwhile, over at the Mortician's Guild.
Anything.
Oh, wait, is Samedi about to seduce the mortician?
He has already seduced the mortician.
So, Babako, I appreciate you meeting with me.
Nothing I ever do will ever pay back what I owe you.
We are both brothers in the worship of Charnel. And as you know, I have other allegiances that I've been introducing you to. And I would ask a favor of you this day in Charnel's name and in the name of my other associates. There is a problem in Derelictus, a problem that could impact the entire Spire if we don't address it and address it quickly. I need the assistance of a mortician executioner. I need you, my brother, to help me right this wrong.
Brother, you know I am considerate to your other allies, and I wish to help. But what is it you wish of me? Because I am bound and limited in what I can do.
Don't fear. I don't actually want you to execute any death certificate. I just need you to help me convince someone that they are under the writ of a death certificate and that you are actually there to ensure that it has been properly filled out so as to make sure that only the actually righteous enemies of the Spire are executed. Let me explain.
He does look very confused.
There is a group, the Church of the Gun. I'm sure you've heard of them.
I have, yes.
Brother Hellion leads that congregation. He is currently in the pay of Mr. Winter, one of the landlords of Derelictus, and in the pay, and Brother Winter is also paying an Aelfir who runs Bedlam Hill, who is currently taking Drow off the street, torturing them, turning them into mindless dolls to use at his pleasure, contradicting both your writ as an executioner and the will of Charnel. I would have you draft a death certificate for Brother Hellion and have it signed by the Aelfir doctor who runs Bedlam Hill and witnessed by Brother Winter. All you would need do is take this down there with me and say that you are there to investigate this death certificate because it is unusual in its requirements. It's not been signed out by a member of the council, and part of the death certificate required that the body be fed to the carrions immediately on site.
Do you know the name of this doctor?
I have a friend who is working on getting the signatures of the doctor and of Mr. Winter. All you would need to do then is introduce me as your witness, a carrion priest of Charnel who would be responsible for carrying out the last part of this death certificate. Once we point out that once we make the connection between Mr. Winter and the Aelfir at Bedlam Hill trying to remove Brother Hellion from his church. Other plots we have put in place that will make him understand that he is an immediate risk. He will sever his relationship, hopefully, with both Mr. Winter and potentially be an enemy to the Bedlam Hill, who is an enemy to all dragons. We need Brother Hellion and his church as leverage against the enemies of Charnel. If you are willing to do this, I would be greatly appreciated.
This draws my vows, brother, into direct conflict. My vows as a mortician executioner and my vows to Charnel are opposed in this. I am bound to assist you, and I must. And yet, I cannot serve formal writ. I cannot prepare a document, for in so doing it will become true.
Well, you prepare it and tell no one of it, and we destroy it immediately after we meet with Brother Hellion. It will be as if it never happened. I know this is a great deal to ask of our bonds, friendship, and worship. But I tell you now that if we fail this, all of Delictus may fall to the heart.
Can you make a compel and religion roll for me, please, Aaron?
I do my best. Come on. All right. For some reason, the roll is not working, so I will just roll it.
Just roll a bunch of dice.
There we go. There it popped up finally. A little bit of computer lag.
Oh, my word. Look at that. His brow furrows and he sits in thought for a moment. And then he brings his head back up again with one eyebrow raised and a look of inspiration on his face. He says, I both can and cannot do what you ask. I can show you what such a writ may look like. I cannot draft it on the official paper, but I can tell you where you might be able to purchase such similar paper. I cannot complete the writ, but I can leave gaps wherein you may complete it. If you have one who can mimic the style, I can, as a demonstration, show you how a writ is prepared, purely for education and the understanding of the executioners and the Church of Charnel.
That I do have a friend who would be more than happy to do that. When it is time to serve the writ, are you willing to go with me?
I will. I may not confirm, but I will lend my presence.
That is all I could ask, brother. Your help is greatly appreciated. We need to move on this quickly.
He takes a piece of scrap paper and immediately starts writing. His penmanship on this is beautiful. He's writing in full calligraphy. Name of the target.
The name of the target is Brother Hellion.
Of
the Church of the Gun.
Derelictus.
Derelictus.
And he's almost leaving you like Mad Lib gaps in this death certificate. And he writes out this whole certificate for you. This is obviously not going to convince anybody on the paper that it's currently on.
Right.
But when he's finished, you can see the exact wording, the exact penmanship.
Excellent. Babako.
He turns and knocks a candle off of the table completely by accident. And the candle breaks in a big chunk of wax drops off of it. Foolish of me, he says. This wax is used to affix seals to such documents.
Well, I'm sure that
I will
can
just
help
put the
dispose of
candle
it.
back. And he turns his back on you pointedly to put the candle back exactly where it needs to be.
And if I am sure that you would never mislay your own seal, but if perhaps you did, I might find it and return it to you at a later date.
That would be most kind, he says, taking a ring off of his finger. Should such a thing ever be lost, it would be a great favor for you to return it to me.
I can guarantee you that should I find it, I will return it to you.
I'm glad to have assisted you this day.
My friend.
As you can see, this is the format in which one of our certificates would take. The wording is shown as such as it would be shown on an official certificate, but this one has no name in, and I have deliberately crossed spaces blank so as to not make this certificate formal. It's also not written on the appropriate paper, which you would have to go to a specialist paper vendor located in Threadneedle to be able to purchase. Very rare type. It's found only in the store of one Shadowfane and Son Associates.
Well, that is something that I am sure that I can run across. Again, I truly appreciate your help. We'll be hoping to move on this plan this very day, as long as I can get the document prepared. We only have 2 days to save Derelictus.
I will be off duty in 3 hours.
Thank you, my brother.
Is there a place I could meet you? To see if you've managed to turn up my signet ring, for instance.
Absolutely. I believe if you meet us, and I give him a location a couple of blocks away from the Church of the Gun, a small little tea house that we can meet at. You and I will meet there and execute the plan as long as everything else has gone according to the prescribed procedures.
I will see you later, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Right, and then we jump across to Leon, who's been sat there so patiently. Look at his little face. So, Leon, while all this has been going on, your mission was to try and get the signatures of the Doctor and of Mr. Winter.
Easy.
Which one do you want to do first?
We're going to go for the Doctor first. Don't make that sound. Okay.
Question. Did the orderlies who, or the guards that went after She of Long Legs have some sort of writ on them that allowed them to take her into custody?
They didn't have anything on paper, no.
It's good.
Okay. Just want to get messengers in Spire. That's a thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Cheap messages go by Urchin. You can't always rely on them, though. So there are drow who are still on their durance, who work for messaging agencies. Mm-hmm. It's considered one of the best durances to have, and kids will train to get that job.
Okay.
Then those are expensive. Then in between the two, there are kids who have finished their durance, who have done a little bit of wheeling and dealing and trading. Kids not too dissimilar to yourself in some ways, who have taken up jobs as messengers. So you probably know where you can track them down without too much difficulty.
Okay,
so
well,
which of the three would you like to go for?
Well, I'm thinking of posing as a messenger and changing into my servant's mask. And then I'd like to get some fancy paper from somewhere. I want to make an invitation with an RSVP on it.
Okay, pretty cunning. I like it.
Okay.
So that would be a deceive and high society roll.
Okay.
To fabricate the invitation. You can find a piece of nice paper very easily.
Deceive and fabrication. You didn't say fabrication, did you?
I didn't. I said high society.
High society. Okay.
Remember, you're rolling at mastery because this is being used on an Elfir.
Cool. Roll. So that's 4 dice then. Come on.
You've got to reroll.
You have got to
I do.
reroll
Thank goodness.
because this piece of shit isn't going to convince anybody.
Yeah, I misspelled technical.
So there you go. You have produced an acceptable facsimile. It's not great.
Mhm.
It won't pass muster if it were to be deeply examined, but as long as it only receives a cursory glance,
Yeah.
you're okay. I would like you to take 1 point of stress to silver for sourcing the paper.
Okay.
Finding the right piece of paper was the most difficult bit for this.
So the idea is I want it to be an invitation to a technical conference somewhere high up in the spire, something so it looks fancy.
Fabulous, yeah.
Right. So now I want to head off to.
So there's a
Bedlam
tea
Hill.
shop where a bunch of messengers tend to hang out,
Yeah.
which is located in or near, not in the Endless Bacchanal, because putting it in the Endless Bacchanal, you wouldn't get much messaging done.
Mhm.
But there's this sort of permanent drunken orgy party that goes on nearby. And being teenagers, they do like to sit nearby and see what comes staggering out. So they sort of dare each other to get closer to it whilst waiting for jobs to come up as messengers. So they're a bunch of sort of late teens to mid-20s young drow sat around jostling each other. Most of them are quite skinny. They're all fairly fit. And there's this tea house that they hang out at. So you sort of approach that sort of area.
Okay.
Pop your servant's mask on.
That's my man. Look alive, lads.
Oh, what's up, Chief? What's up?
Got an urgent one to send out. This one fell off the back of the pile. I need a quick response on this one. It's a message for the chief doctor at Bedlam Hill.
Oh, no, mate, I ain't going there. This is one of them. They're mental.
No? Well, anyone else? You up for it?
One of them's like, well, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah, job's a job, right?
Job's a job, yeah.
In and out.
No, I've not been up there. I want to see him. I want to see what it's like up there. They said it's well scary. I'm hard. I can take it.
Yeah, right. Well, you got to bring it back, so don't dawdle too much, yeah? Because you don't want to get locked up. So.
Yeah, no, I'm getting locked up. No. So that.
Right. Okay, so...
What's the plan then, Chief?
Right. It's just an invitation. I need to get it to the chief doctor, but he's got to sign it and bring it back because the RSVP is absolutely vital. I've got to get it back today.
Yeah, no worries. Can you make a compel and low society roll?
Yes. I keep forgetting I moved my sheet to make it easier to get to. And then it's in a different window. Bear with me. I've got too many windows.
I'll also take deceive if you prefer. So compel or deceive and low society.
Doesn't make much difference.
Okay. 3
dice. I've only got no, it's 2 dice. I've only got compel or deceive. 8.
Okay. Yeah, keep us in mind for future work, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Don't crumple it. It's a nice invitation, yeah? I don't want it to get jumping.
No, I got... And he puts it in a little square satchel that he's got attached to his chest.
Right. And you got to get back to me quick. So meet me back at what's a nearby tavern around here. It's safe for him to meet me back here.
Take your pick. Red Worm. Red Worm Tavern's not too far away.
Yeah. Bring back to the Red Worm. If I'm not there, you can leave it behind the bar.
Yeah, all right then. You succeeded on your compulsion, so he's not going to ask you for a bonus. Have it back in an hour.
Yep.
And off he goes at a fair old clip. He's a nippy youngster.
Swish, right, okay.
Probably fresh off his durance, this one.
I think that was the easy one. We'll see how that one goes. Otherwise I have to go back in there myself in an hour. Right. Okay.
No, I think that was genius. That was the hard one as far as I was concerned. I was like, how the bloody hell is he getting in and getting that doctor's signature? That was a brilliant plan.
That was amazing.
I've had over an hour to think of that. Like
what?
I've missed a lot of what you guys were saying. Okay, right. Mr. Winter. Bloody hell. Right, okay, I need some lowlifes. I've got to find some lowlifes that aren't going to hurt me. Urchins. Let's get some urchins. Urchins are always good. Right.
What sort of caliber of urchin are you looking for? Because the urchin caliber in Derelictus ranges from kids that are about to be called for their durance and might be nicking off, who are like full-blooded drow, all the way down to half toad, half kobold, half human hybrids.
What ones are nicking off? I want some sharper ones that have been out
so you want some of the big boy urchins, some of the ones that have made it to the top of the pile.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so there is a gang that you know of drow urchins called your mum.
Yeah.
Oof.
Because it was the most insulting thing they could think of to call themselves.
No! These poor children. Where did we fail them?
Right, I want to find your mum's.
And they like to hang around
near
the fruit market. Fruit market is where you find your mum.
Right.
She can't get blessing. You don't find your mum near the Endless Bacchanal.
Gonna head down the market. Right.
So you head down the fruit market.
Spying, looking out for your mum. They pickpocketing. What are they doing? They're just hanging about, smoking by the bike shed.
That kind of thing, yeah. You've got a little crowd of them sort of passing around dried malak, which may or may not actually be malak. It could quite easily just be oregano.
Yeah, I'm gonna sidle up to them, all smooth like.
And there's one of them who's like stood right in front of you suddenly with a knife.
You're right. Whoa. There's no need for that. you can put the sharp
Gav,
things
what do you
away.
want? What do you want? Come on.
Well,
you know not to come up here causing trouble.
Well,
you're a bit nicely dressed.
Or yeah, you think, not the parts I'm knocking around. Right. I want some information. That's why I'm here, because everyone says your mum knows everything, and also keeps it secret.
Wait, what you saying about my mum?
It's a really problematic name you got going on there.
Nah, just joshing with you, mate. What do you want? You paying?
Yeah, of course I'm paying. Got all the
coin. You got what you need.
Look at these fine clothes, right?
He's not wrong. Right, so what do you want? We got malak. We know some nice girls.
No, it's more information on the comings and goings around here, right?
Oh, yeah.
New to the area. Here there's a player, Mr. Winter.
Oh, piss off, mate. Everybody knows who Winter is.
Yeah, well, obviously, that's why I'm come here. But I don't know, really, where he's moving and shaking. Like, I can kind of find some of his lieutenants, maybe, but that's not really good to me.
Is that why you got that home country's accent? Are you new?
I'm
you new in
here.
Town, right? Yeah. And you don't know my bloody hell. Okay, so Winter's like top cheese, big dog, yeah? Well,
right.
Don't call him that. He doesn't like that. He's a big man in town, yeah?
Yeah.
And he's dead.
He's dead?
Yeah, but he's so hard he didn't stay dead.
Right, yeah, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, all right, so we don't piss him off.
Yeah, no, I knew a fella had his head cut off.
He's up there, we're down here. But Winter's one of the big three, yeah?
Yeah.
You got Winter, you got Moon, you got the sisters. They pretty much own everything down here. Long as we keep on the down low, do a little bit of this, little bit of that, they don't give a shit about us kids. Yeah, Jeff over there, his dad works for Moon. Well, he says he's his dad anyway.
Right. None of you work for Winter? You don't pick up anything there?
Well, occasionally we'll run a message or something, but we're not up yet. We're not big enough.
Yeah, no. Where are you running the messages to?
Well, there's some warehouses what he owns, but if you really want to find him, they say.
No, that's good. He owns some warehouses. Yeah, where are they at?
He gives you directions to tell you how to get to the warehouses you've already been to.
Grand. Yeah, that's good. Okay, in my mind, basically, I'm thinking now is there's got to be... is there a property register somewhere in Spire? There's got to be some bureaucratic thing that Mr. Winter's registered on. Deeds. I'm trying to think, where would Al Capone sign his name? Not checks.
In the tax office.
Yeah, not in the tax office. He's going to have Mr. Winter's signature. Right. Yeah, thanks. I'm going to leave the actions. I don't think I'm getting anything more from them.
Oi, mate, you want to know where you can find people who work for him, apart from the warehouses?
Yeah. Where are they at? Where are they drinking?
One of them's like, well, you know, I might remember were you to show me the appropriate kind of incentive.
Yep, right. I will bribe him with what money I've got on me.
So you drop a couple of coins into his hand. He's like, all right, I'll be honest with you. I don't really know where he is.
Yeah,
but,
I kind of saw that coming, yeah.
But, but, yeah. My auntie's sister, not my mum, my auntie's sister on the other side, she knows where his accountant is. And his accountant is called Harriet.
All right.
Oh, that's it. That's the information.
Right. Okay, so where can I find your auntie's sister? Not your mum.
Oh, that's wrong. That's entirely wrong. Sorry, that's the sisters. That's the actual sisters. You don't want Harriet.
No.
I meant Henrietta.
That's an easy
Not
mistake.
Harriet. No, don't Harriet. No, whoa, my bad. Sorry, you paid for this information. I've got to not get you stabbed. haven't I?
Henrietta, you say? Yeah.
Yeah, Henrietta. If I get you stabbed, I'll be in a world of trouble. No, I didn't mean that. Henrietta. Yeah. So she's an accountant. Yeah, and she's right. If you go up towards Perdita's, yeah.
Right, where's Perdita's? I'm new here.
Next level up, mate.
Right.
Next level up. You got the docks. You got the Blue Market, Customs House. Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the two, go to the Customs House. Down the road from Customs. Yeah. Head yourself into. So you're sort of facing the blue, and you got Customs behind you.
Right.
And Henrietta's accountancy office is just there on your right. All right.
Okay. Grand. Yeah, that'll do. You're not trying to mug me off, are you?
Well, it depends. Have you got any more money?
I trust you, scamp.
No, I mean, have you got any more money? And if this turns out to be a decent lead, would you come back and spend more?
Yeah, if it's good.
Well,
If I don't come back alive, I'm not giving you any more money, am I?
Well, no, exactly. So, you know, bear it in mind.
Will do. What's your name?
My name.
So I can find
Which
you
one?
again.
Do you want like my proper name, or do you want what everybody calls me?
Yeah, give me your proper name, lad.
My proper name is Shadow Under Moonlight.
Pleasure doing business with you, Shadow. I'll see you later.
Yeah, but if you want to come around here asking for stuff, just ask for Dav, yeah?
Right. Right, you're a Dev. I'm off.
I love this.
Right. Gotta get to see an accountant.
Non-anomaly, you're not wrong. They're proper naughty.
I want to look fancy customs house upstairs. Right.
You're the first person to go out of Derelictus. Well done.
Is travelling between levels simple?
Yeah, absolutely fine. There's no
down
like
this
law
way.
against it.
Yeah.
Didn't think we were allowed.
There's like stairs and lifts and all kinds of weird shenanigans going on. And sometimes you just walk in a straight line and you find you're a level higher up, and it doesn't make sense, but it still happens.
How long is it going to take me to get up there and down again? Because that message is going to be back in an hour.
It won't take you that long.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
right.
you make it there and back in an hour or so, yeah.
Right. Okay. Trying to think fast. Right. Heading up to level.
All right, well, we'll fast forward through the journey, but it does become noticeably nicer as you get into the docks. You can smell the
Do I see
occasional hint
Rex's
of
boat
freshness.
tied up somewhere?
There's this
I don't know it's Rex's boat.
There's one really shit boat tied up. It's half full of water and has a swivel gun on it. You recognise Percival standing in the boat
I'm going to ignore Percival.
with a bucket, scooping it out.
I wonder where Percival had been. Okay.
I feel so bad for Percival.
He's doing
We'll
important
still likely have to kill him in the morning, but
revolutionary work.
The Blue Market is called that because it's this huge tent market covered in blue awnings because the Azurites basically run it. It's their combination temple / market, and you can buy or sell anything you like there if you can afford the price. The customs house is an imposing squat building.
Okay, so what's my game plan for going into the customs house?
You're not going into the customs house. You've got the customs house behind you. You've got the market ahead of you.
And
then when you've got those two situations, apparently to your right, there is this accountant's.
Okay. I'll line myself up there. Can I see an office? Is it like an alley?
Well, this is the bit that's not helpful, because what you see is a street of accountancy offices, money lenders, money changers, accountants, financiers, loan makers.
Okay.
Dozens of little shop fronts align this whole street all the way from the customs house down to the market. Because obviously people who need money have to go somewhere to get money sometimes.
Okay,
but you're looking for Henrietta's.
I'm just going to do a walk up and down the street and see if there is Henrietta's little accountancy agency or something as obvious as that on a sign.
It's not quite that obvious.
But then I'm going to look if there's any thuggish types who look like they've got names like Snowdrop that might be going in and out of a particular accountancy office.
Not so much going in and out, but make an investigate and low society, really. I would also accept crime if you have either of them.
No. Okay, so investigate.
So
roll. So just the 2 dice.
Just one of them. My name's
Yes. Look at that. Just the 2 dice. Every time he says just the 2 dice, he rolls a really high roll. So there is a vendor stood across from one of the shops who is not calling out their wares. All the other vendors outside these places, they're calling out ribbons, pies, sausage on a stick, stuff like that. This vendor's just stood there. They've got a closed box in front of them, and they're considerably more heavy set than most of the other vendors on this street.
Do they look like they're looking over a business?
Chunky Drow glares at anybody that gets near them, and they are placed directly opposite H. Snow and Company.
Okay. I want to scope out H. Snow and Company, see if anyone enters or leaves the building.
No, it's not. Not a very busy shop, not compared to some of the others. It seems very, very quiet. They've got tiny little lead glass windows in the front. A big, heavy wooden door, heaviest wooden door on the street now that you get close enough to see it. Reinforced as well.
Okay.
When you approach the door, the vendor shifts ever so slightly and his hand goes into the box in front of him.
Ooh. I'm going to try and enter the building. Just casual like I'm on business.
So you walk in and a small bell trills like ding, ding, ding. Ding. The door closes behind you heavily. You notice that it's got a massive wheel lock on the inside of it, bigger than you've seen in some banks. And there is a young drow girl sat at a desk. Her feet don't quite reach the floor from the height she sat at, writing in a big ledger. She looks to be of an age where she would be in her durance, so probably somewhere between 12 and 16. And she looks up when she sees you. She's got these great big eyes. There's a little candle sat on the desk next to her, and she sort of whispers, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Well, howdy there. I'm on the employ of Master Lagrange.
He sits up.
We're looking for someone to look after our books. There's a lot of money moving through the Master Lagrange household. And
please take a seat. And she shows you to a musty, deep red leather and velvet wood-framed chair. I'll be back with the mistress in just a moment. And she dashes off up the stairs.
Okay. I gotta think fast. What's in this room? What can I see? Is it just a counter?
In this room, you've got a long counter on one side. You've got what looks to be some great big thick ledgers on shelves behind the counter. You've got the writing desk that the girl was writing at.
Okay. Yeah.
And you have a framed gold coin right behind the counter.
Okay.
There are pens and scrolls and papers all over the counter.
Okay, I think I'm just going to have to wait for the girl to return with the mistress.
It turns out to be a wise decision, because less than a minute after she ran upstairs, she comes running back down the stairs. The mistress will be right with you, sir. Would you care for a drink while you wait?
I'll be fine and dandy with nothing.
As you like, sir. Is there anything else I can get for you?
I was wondering if you've seen an associate of mine. You recommended the place. It went by the name of Avalanche.
She pales ever so slightly. I've heard of Mr. Avalanche, but I've never seen him.
Okay, paid no, never mind then.
And a few moments later, well-built, shall we say, drow lady enters the room. She's squeezed into the tightest corset she could muster. She has an enormous bustle on her velvet skirts, and she's squeezed herself up into this overhanging bustier affair. And she's clearly trying to glide elegantly. Over made up. She's got far too much paint and powder on. And she enters the room. Charmed, sir. How may I assist you?
Well, you look as delightful as a painting.
Sir, you are too kind. Henrietta Snow. And she holds out one hand to you.
Okay. Yemea Spondi. I'm here on behalf of Master Lagrange. Looking to change accounts. We had some unfortunate issues with auditors with our last set, and you came highly recommended by some certain associates of his.
Well, I can assure you, sir, we have no such trouble with auditors in this establishment.
As I'd expect, based on the recommendations we received. Now, I'm a little confused as to how we go about processing a transaction of this kind to move from one set of accounts to another set. As I say, there's a few issues right now with auditors, and
why don't you join me upstairs in my office and we can discuss?
That sounds fine. I'll follow her upstairs.
So this is a tiny little pokey office building. Her office is about the same size as the downstairs room, suggesting that there might be other rooms downstairs and up here as well, but probably not many of them. And her office is full of ledgers and books and all sorts of paperworky details. There's a vanity case that's covered in tiny drawers. There's just so much stuff going on in this room. It's incredibly busy. And sat on the windowsill in this small leaded window is the fattest cat you have ever laid eyes on. You're not entirely sure if it's a cat at first or a cushion, because it's just enormous, completely covered in fur. It's only got one eye, and it turns to look at you with this one big yellow eye and this one big white orb. It just kind of fixes you with a stare and then disdainfully looks back out of the window again. Please, sir, take a seat, she says.
Okay.
And as you sit down, dust kind of rises from everything in the room.
Oh, I feel like maybe people haven't been by here in a while. You must have some fine, satisfied customers to keep them in check, so.
Well, sir, we tend to deal with a small number of exceptional clients rather than pandering to the hoi polloi and riffraff.
Master Grange is certainly exceptional. I'm mainly here on a fact-finding mission around your securities. Like I say, we've had some problems with, shall we say, leaks and people looking into the business we'd rather not look into it.
Indeed. Well, as you see, my security is completely invisible.
That must be said, yes. I've not seen anything other than the large hairy brute you've got there on the windowsill, who I imagine is a fine enforcer.
Clem Fandango? Oh, good Lord, no. Clem is utterly useless. He can't even catch mice.
I'll shoot straight to you. What defenses do you have should someone come to do a raid and try to
as you
get
say,
our
you've
books?
seen them all. Allow me to show you our vault. And she opens a drawer on her desk, puts her hand inside, and kind of wiggles her hand around a little bit, and one entire wall disappears.
Oh.
And where that wall was is another room. The office is actually L-shaped and curves into this whole additional space. And this place is utterly immaculate.
Well, that's mighty impressive.
Completely clear. There are heavy wooden cupboards inside, each of which appears to have no mechanism to open it.
And these are secured by the person who owns them, or do you yourself have access to these?
A little of both. I have access to all of them as the accountant, but you would also have access to your own books. Allow me to demonstrate. And she touches a necklace that she's wearing and wipes her hand down one of the cupboards, and it pops open. It's empty inside. So should you wish to instruct us to serve you, this could be your vault, protected by a number of levels of security. As you can see, the invisibility, and then alongside that, you have my discretion and the inability of anyone other than myself and you or your factor to open the cupboard, although one assumes you are the factor for Master Lagrange.
Oh, of course, naturally. This is a mighty impressive setup, and let's suppose I was to get past this invisible wall and now try to open up any of these other ones without your presence here. I expect there's some kind of alarms or ramifications would happen to me.
Ramifications, certainly. Are you familiar with the Vermisian?
Yes, I've heard of that.
My late brother was a Vermisian sage.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It wasn't the Vermisian that killed him. It was the arsenic. However, many of these cupboards are trapped with Vermisian magic. Should you attempt to open the wrong one at the wrong time, you will be flung into the heart of the Vermisian itself, and who knows what cupboard you might appear in. This is also proof against Vermisian sages, which I no doubt believe is your next question. While a Vermisian sage could navigate and negotiate the journey, where they end up will not be their choice.
Well, that's absolutely
And should
fine.
anybody make it past the invisibility and myself and the Vermisian trap to reach the books, all of the books are enchanted with combustion magic.
Now, that's the sort of thing we're looking for. And
Rather clever combustion magic, actually. One of my clients is an expert in cold-based magic. And as part of our arrangement, what we do is, instead of adding heat to something, we simply remove the cold from it.
That's very clever. I think I know who you mean. Is a mutual friend that I won't name.
Quite so. Discretion, of course, being a part of our very nature.
If someone were to come here asking for Master Lagrange's books, would there be a level of deniability, and you would say you've never heard of him? Or do you have to disclose your clients?
I must admit that Master Lagrange is quite well known in society. However, we're not obliged to disclose his notes. Should someone come looking, I can deny having any knowledge of them. And should the matter be forced, I can show them to the cupboard. I don't need to open it.
That sounds good. I would like to have any paperwork required to begin the transfer of our funds over here that I can return to Mr. Lagrange for his approval and stamp and signature, and like know any of the other admin processes required therein. Which we don't have to go into in details. Obviously, I'm happy if you want to just say she gives me papers.
So she gives you a whole bunch of papers. Would you like to make an investigate and occult or crime roll?
Okay. Yeah, that makes no difference to me. So just investigate. Yeah, so 2 dice.
Uh-oh, he's rolling 2 dice. He always succeeds on 2 dice.
Oh, don't say that.
He is the master.
They told me that storytelling games were pointless and that I needed to have dice and stats. You notice on her desk that there is a piece of paper which has a fairly ostentatious signature on it, written in a sort of pale blue ink that looks like exactly the sort of thing you might expect your current mark to use.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, do you need to answer her?
I'm sorry?
Your assistant downstairs, she just called your name.
The girl is so quiet. I'm trying to teach her to be more loud. Please.
I did notice she was a very quiet specimen when I came in.
Take your leisure. I shall return momentarily. And the wall reappears where it was. You hear a locking sound from beyond as the cupboard closes itself.
Okay.
And she saunters off downstairs.
I want to quickly pocket the signature that I found because it looks like it's got snowflakes on it.
Yes.
Maybe begins with the letter W. And I shall grab my sheaf of papers that she's given me. And I shall make my way out and downstairs. And as I'm just going, I believe I have all the papers that I need. Thank you very much for your assistance. I shall be by tomorrow with these filled out.
Excellent. Once Master Lagrange has signed them, I will be happy to provide you with your own vault key.
It's been a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you again sometime. Wink.
She offers you her hand again.
Oh, kiss her hand in a drowish, gentlemanly way.
Right, and then you head back.
Head back. Get a look cool as I walk down the street.
A little bit out of breath by the time you reach the pub.
Into the Red Worm.
Into the Red Worm. Boom, sit down. The barman comes over and he pours you a drink. He says, tough day.
Yeah, not half, lad. Right, get me another drink, would you, as well? I'll be meeting someone here. Oh, hang on. He might have already been a messenger in here. Has he left anything?
No, what, one of the kids?
Yeah. Be fancy looking invitation type thing.
Yeah.
Leave it if I went here.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, cool. Right, then buy yourself
and
a
he
drink.
Pulls out the invitation and hands it over to you.
Cheers. I'm going to unroll it and look.
Yeah,
it better not say from the office of the doctor. Like it's been signed by a secretary.
Oh, it's signed by the doctor.
Okay, I'll roll that up.
But it looks like you have achieved your objective. You have got the 2 signatures you needed. You have travelled further, covered more ground than any of the others in an attempt to get this, but you've done it. You've come away with the signatures you needed.
Down my drink and go
with
meet
20
some
minutes to spare.
Let's go meet some Edie.
So you down your drink, which is a kind of rough fungal rum.
Oh.
Probably also be used as paint stripper.
Yeah. Change from the servant mask to my fancy mask.
And you head back to meet up with the others, who were all meeting at a tea house, I believe.
Right.
Now, before we do that, Weaves and I don't know if Alden's stuck up that cat's nose or what.
No,
but if he's there, he is. And if he's popped off to the loo, then so be it. What do you want to do?
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of midwives around me.
You've got these midwives there. They're carrying She of the Long Legs back inside.
Yeah, I would speak to the one in her ear who's helping me most particularly, and I would say, I meant none of this to happen. This was wrong. This was absolutely wrong from the get-go. This was clearly not intended to happen.
They said she was a minister. They said that she was a revolutionary.
She is our mother. She's none of these foul things.
That's what I said. But
there's no justice in this. These were clearly vagabonds who acting on grudge or something.
They had hospital clothes. They said that they'd been.
They did not have a hospital note. I saw none of the sort. Quick, we must. Is there a garage or something nearby where we could put the cart? For the time being, until we straighten this out.
I believe I can find somewhere to put the cart.
I don't want to ask too much of you. You've endured so much.
There's a station nearby, as it turns out.
Station.
So I can maybe get a hand or two to help me push it towards a handy and inconspicuous garage.
I'll carry it on my own back if must be.
Out in your mic is. I don't think we're picking up your headphone mic. I think we're. Oh, and now we can't.
Testing.
We can hear you. But
we can hear you.
It's coming through the mic or not.
It's not coming through the mic on your thing. I think it's coming through the mic on your computer. I would assume.
It is intriguing. Please hold.
It's not too big a problem. I just wanted to make you aware.
That's good to know. What about now?
It sounds the same. We'll go with it. I mean, you're audible.
Okay, I've had to
it's
switch.
Not super creepy.
Headphones.
Oh, that might be what it is. It's just different headphones and a different mic. So, the young drow midwife says to you, well, there's Petal.
Petal? What is Petal?
Petal is how you could get it somewhere safe.
Okay.
There's a... I don't know about garages. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you. But you could certainly get it away from here.
What must be done must be done.
But you must be gentle.
I can be gentle.
She's a sensitive soul.
Oh. Is Petal a core?
And she steps back into the creche and calls upstairs, Petal! Petal, darling, down you come. And from upstairs, there's a crashing sound. And heavy booted feet crashing their way down the stairs. And this 9-foot tall creature wearing a pretty floral dress and
I love her.
Boots that look like they're made out of industrial barrels comes crashing down the stairs. This enormous bottom jaw. She's got long hair in 2 pigtails stuck up off both sides of her head. Huge underbite. Looks like you'd imagine an ogre from the stories might look.
Wow. Have I met Petal before?
Yes, miss, she says.
Petal! Oh,
you've not met Petal before. Petal is unusual. Yeah. We found her when she was a baby. We thought she was a child. She was a child. She was a baby, but we thought when we found her as a baby that she was a child. Petal 7 now, aren't you, love? Petal 7.
7 what?
7.
Okay, Petal is lovely.
There's this enormous troll-like creature.
Love it.
Does Petal like having hugs.
Petal loves hugs, but you've got to be careful, haven't you, Petal? Careful hug.
I've had
Careful,
enough
hug.
hugging for one day, thank you.
And Petal kind of picks you up, and it's like being crushed to death in some kind of industrial press. And then she puts you back down again. She smells interesting, like of sweets and flowers, but also some kind of underlying musk.
Petal, thank
And she
you.
puts you down again. Gentle.
Yes. it's
Very good.
Very gentle.
Thank you, Petal. I enjoy hugs too. Gentle hugs. Yes.
That'll help.
Petal, can you help me help Mommy?
That'll
Our
help.
collective mother. Yeah. Our
Okay.
collective mother wants perhaps you to help me carry this small little cart outside somewhere discreet. Somewhere, put it away like your toys.
Petal put away toy cart.
Yes, exactly. I'll come with you. I'll make sure that you
That'll
put it
help.
away all the right way. And when we do, we sing a cleaning up song. And it'll be fun.
Crashes her way through the building. They open the second door on the front
We do it quietly, though.
to let her out.
I don't think quietness is going to be an option, but I think singing the tidying up song, I think this will help.
She ducks to get under the doorway and squeezes through the double doors that you all fit through a single door of. And she gets hold of the wagon outside.
Well, she could pull it. She doesn't have to pick it up. But petal do petal. It's fine. It's fine.
I'll help her. Are you okay?
All okay.
Where
You're okay?
What, petal or
Put
me?
in garden.
As long as petal doesn't hug me, I'm fine.
Put in toy box.
No, we need to go to the land of tunnels. Have you heard of this? This is very exciting.
Are we taking it there?
Magic tunnel.
Yes, magic tunnel. Yes.
Then you have to come with me.
And she points off in completely
That's
the wrong
okay.
direction. This way.
No, that way.
No, this way.
You know other magic tunnel?
She says yes, but you could tell she's lying because she's 7 and you're a genius.
Or just not 7?
I've got a song for this. There are
Okay.
many magic tunnels in the world.
In the world.
And this carriage belongs in another one.
Other one.
This carriage belongs where this man's gonna point and
Over
we're gonna
there,
put
over
the toy
there,
in
over
his
there,
box.
Over there.
Yay!
Bing! So she turns around to the direction Alden's pointing in now and starts to push this big heavy metal wagon.
We'll all go together when
No
we
one
go.
has to roll
When
while
we
Pat
go.
is singing.
And we'll put the toy in its box together.
Together.
And we're gonna do it right. And it's gonna be fun. And then eventually we'll have some sleep.
Have some sleep. I think Pat just won.
Oh my god, that was not what I had expected. I must admit, when I planned for tonight's session, singing to a giant ogre child was not on the cards.
Yeah, I've always said it's not possible to win Spire, but Pat just won Spire.
I don't like kids, but I'm told I'm really good with them.
So Petal helps you push it to the entrance to the Vermisian station.
Thank you, Petal. That's very nice.
Oh, Petal, you're the best. Thank you so much.
I'm curious, Petal. Are there any more like you?
Yes.
Do they live in the magic tunnels?
No.
Where do they live?
In Crash.
Okay, yes, they're all exactly like you. Yes, okay.
Yes.
Um,
We are all family.
Can we just wait one moment? I just want to dash into the Vermisian and get some sort of very odd picture book that's probably from a different dimension and give it to Petal.
Okay.
There you go. It's for you.
Oh,
Yes, the whales have legs. Yes, this is normal.
You escort Petal back to the crash. She skips. It's very disconcerting.
I think it's cute.
The ground shakes.
Yes. When she gets in, she shouts, "Petal, help!"
Yes, Petal should get some sort of sticker or something saying she help.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, good.
Is that enough?
Oh, I think that's more than enough, yes. If you have a mop, maybe we could clean up the blood outside, but other than that, I think we'll okay.
Deal with that. Don't worry about that. And the poor prisoners.
Yes, they just need care and vegetables.
Yes.
And
Has she come to?
once Sister Heart of Light goes home, I will see to it that these prisoners are delivered somewhere safer.
Your service has been invaluable. I don't know how to repay you.
Sister Magie. And then you two also head back to the tea shop to meet up with the others.
So we didn't get any money.
No, but... Well... We could... You're right, we didn't get any money. There's no way we could masquerade that we have it. We could pretend that we have, or we could potentially get the money and act on behalf of the ministry ourselves through your means. But other than that, I can't think of a good way to... Mother Longlegs is probably not going to be of much assistance to us.
No, I think she has very much been taken off the board, which itself is a little suspicious, given the time.
Highly suspicious.
Alden, could you make an investigate and occult roll?
Oh, yes, please.
My character's like kind of hoping that this isn't a game like Alien RPG where someone has a secret agenda.
No, of course not. Whatever could make you think that?
Well,
she's played Garblag games before.
I think I might take a
before.
re-roll.
Yeah, you could do that.
Because I have one left, and I should roll well on this, and I didn't.
How many dice did you roll?
4.
Oh, see, that was your mistake.
Yeah, I should only roll 2. I know.
There you go.
There we go.
So you go in when you went into the Vermissian to find the picture book. You recall searching through a couple of bins full of stuff, and in one of them, you found a bag of money.
Oh, strange money with tentacled people in funny hats.
Coin money. Yeah. Tentacle coin, funny hat money, but money nonetheless. It's a sack of coin that's the equivalent of a one-shot use of 2 points of silver resistance.
I will put that in a handy pouch in my robes.
So yes, while you were searching, you did find some money, and it'll jingle right. Just if they take it out and count it, there might be a problem.
Okay. Well, as long as they only weigh it, we're okay.
It'd be a one-time use thing, presumably.
Yeah, actually, if we invest it on some short option stocks now, we could be able to turn this amount of capital into nearly 10 times in only 3 weeks. What do you think? I think it's worth it.
I think we
You're
need
suggesting
that.
inventing in Drow coin.
It's a bit of a longer-term game.
I think it's a little bit of a longer-term game, too.
Although what we could do is that we could sell people the option to own one of these coins in the future, but not now. And then we could sell different people the same option, but for a different time. And then we could sell the coins many times over. How about this?
So while you're having this discussion, you're walking through Spire.
Sounds a little extreme.
You arrive at Iro's tea house. which is a popular destination for tea lovers everywhere. And to find the rest of your colleagues already sat down and taking tea.
Oh, no, they have already taken the tea. Is there any tea left? Hello?
They have a whole pot and some spare cups. So, you are all together once again.
So, how did everybody else's day go?
Everything went according to plan. How about you?
Oh, yeah, it all went brilliant.
Nadir says with his broken nose smushed across his face and blood smeared all down his bottom
Covered
jaw.
in about 2 other people's blood as well.
Oh, God.
I'm honestly just staring on like this. I haven't said a word yet.
Well, it looks like you had a difficult day, but did you get the money?
Oh, yes, big sack of cash. Pff, there you go.
Excellent. And she have long legs. Is she going to back the church?
Maddie, we need to talk.
We
need to
Night, Admiral Rex arrives as well, looking really well rested and content.
Walking slightly funny.
Stride of pride, my friend. Stride of pride.
I also just realized I didn't do anything because my whole job was to
Today's the day that none of us actually did our jobs. To be honest.
No, you guys did your jobs very well. I actually did nothing.
That's not true.
We did
No,
not
that's
do our jobs very well. We did another job that presented itself somewhat decently.
Yeah.
Aided the revolution, says we get.
Yeah. For the revolution.
Vive la revolution.
I mean, vive la revolution. Yeah, but like shit. We didn't do our jobs.
It's like my armor on backwards or something.
No, your armor's on the right way forward for once.
It's just inside out.
You can't do that with armor. Especially not metal armor. You put metal armor on inside out, you're going to realize that quite quickly. So you sit down at the table, Rex, where the others are all sat drinking tea.
I shall take the entire pot, presuming that is the thing we drink out of.
Just drink out of the spout.
Rex,
No.
Yes, sorry.
is Hellion interested in listening to the proposal of the knights who are interested in backing him?
Yes.
Excellent. We have the coin.
I would say though that he was a little bit unsure, so I might have to butter him up a bit.
That's
more.
fine. We're going to scare him quite a bit when we go to execute him. So he'll be interested in finding a new backer.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely work. Yeah. Because like his whole thing was like he was a bit like, oh, I don't know, the setup I've got is pretty good. I don't want to get any competition. So if you scare him, he'll be like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. We never talked about a deal. And if he says that, you know he's lying.
All right, Rex. All right. I have a feeling I know how that conversation went, so we'll we'll circle back to that. Lucian, I have an example of the death certificate, the language that needs to be included in it, the wax and the seal. We just need to get the paper from Shadowfane and Sons. Did you get the signatures?
Yes, I managed to get both signatures of the Doctor and of Mr.
Somebody
Winter.
did their job.
Excellent. Then it'll be up to you to forge the death certificate.
Mm-hmm.
The Mortician's Executioner will accompany me with the certificate once we have it in place. So we're prepared to make the play as soon as you're able to forge the document.
I can get on that right away or tomorrow. I can't remember what the time is.
If we can, we should try to execute this plan before
You've
the
still
night.
got plenty of time. You've actually gotten through a lot of stuff in. I suppose you've gone through the morning into the afternoon, so you're probably looking at sort of mid-afternoon, which is why you're having tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we should be able
what'll
to get the
happen
forgery
is-
done today.
Lucian, while you forge the document, Rex, you'll go back with the bag of cash,
Right,
finish buttering up
of course.
Brother Hellion.
Answering.
Then Lucian will walk in as the informant and warn Brother Hellion that trouble is coming to his doorstep. Babako and I will then scare Brother Hellion into helping us.
Gotcha.
Aaron, scaring someone into helping you? Never.
No.
We need to talk.
By Charnel's will.
Weaves, it's all
Samedi,
good. Yeah.
we have a little issue that we need
As
to
long
discuss.
as Lady of the Long Legs is with us and healthy and awake and not have been kidnapped by the orderlies, then we'll be fine. I know it.
Well, some of
What
that
did you?
is
That was.
fine.
Hold
then.
on.
Oh, pardon.
When did you just say?
I'm not a spy. That was nigh being silly. There is no
Okay.
take that out of context if you wish. That was just
Out
me
of
doing it.
character, I am actually suspicious that one of us is a spy. So
Yeah, I was really doing some heavy spy
don't fuck
work.
with me like that, motherfucker.
I am a spy.
Don't fuck with me.
I'm not a spy. I disappear wherever I feel like.
I'm a spy in the same way James Bond is technically a spy.
Yeah, okay. No, I get it. You just have sex with women under the guise that you work for a government agency. Got it.
Pretty much, yeah. That's why I always said I was a bad person for doing it.
You know what? Honestly, that was super in character and I loved it. Anyway, so Maddie, we have a problem.
What?
She of Long Legs is burned. They were at her doorstep, the Bedlam folk. They
Is
almost
she all
took
right?
her. We did
Where is she?
wrest her from. She was with the crash. We wrested her from their hold. We've made ourselves known. We might be burned ourselves, or at least I am. I don't know that I don't know that my colleague here is as recognizable as I am, but I'm a good wife.
That's all right. We'll be
People
moving
saw me,
against
they know
Bedlam
my
soon.
name.
His face is difficult to recognize right now.
But the two I got close to, they're not going to be talking to anybody.
Right, we did kill 2 people.
Well,
Excellent.
no. Technically, the prisoners killed one of them.
So tell me what
and
you saw.
you killed the other one.
Tell me what you saw at the
Yes.
crime scene. Oh, I saw a guy stab another guy and start quoting stock market figures while doing so.
Weaves, I'm not sure that She of Long Legs will be safe in the crash if they went there in the first place to get her. We may need to move her. Were
I
you
trust
able to
the
get
crash
any
in
other?
this, But
Well, if they let them in once, they may let them in again. I
they
think we
didn't
should
know what they were
probably.
doing the first time. I think they know now what they're up against. But you are correct. We must move her, or we must ask her where she needs to be moved.
Were you able to
Possible
get
she
any
still has
intelligence
some
out of
resources.
them? The orderly, the guards before you killed them, were you able to get any intelligence from them?
No.
One ran, the other 2 had to be dealt with on the spot.
How are they planning on taking her away?
Oh, we have a wagon
We have a wagon.
and some keys. Actually, we also have this.
We do have the keys.
How are the guards dressed?
In the normal orderly robes. The ones we already have some that are not covered in blood.
Yes.
Holes.
Excellent. Well, that actually may help us if we have one of their armored carts. If we
It is
need
quite
to
possible.
infiltrate that way, we might be able to get in through the back door for an assault if it comes to that. But I think we should move. Perhaps that's what you and Nadir can do, is relocate She of Long Legs while we terrify Brother Hellion into joining our side.
You may need to. I mean, she's the one here amongst us who has the connections further up the web.
And she may have been able, between last night and today, have found out who this other rogue midwife is. Maybe
Quite
that,
possible.
maybe if she was asking questions, that's why they found her. That may lead us to who the traitor is within the ministry.
That said, I'm even more concerned about her well-being now that you mentioned that. I think I should go back immediately.
Yes.
Ensure
If
her
you
safety.
and Nadir go back and protect her, get her somewhere safe.
I
We'll meet
concur.
back down near Brother Hellion's tonight after we've made our play for his allegiance. So protect her. Lucian, forge the documents. Rex, go back, make the initial payoff to Brother Hellion, get him at least interested in the deal, and we'll do the rest.
Lucian, do you have everything you need for the forging? Or maybe I could find something useful? I'm opening drawers.
I just have to go and source the paper.
Okay.
But
yes, Nadir, we do need paper from Shadow Fane and Sons if you can just pull it out.
Like this paper?
That will be a use of your magical teleport. But yes, it is a very exclusive and specific kind of paper. Does Dead Drop have a roll on it? It doesn't, does it?
No. It is usually basic, so if
I might ask you to make a roll
for
this, because this is a deceive and occult roll, because you've got to get the right kind of paper or close enough to it.
Can I offer to assist by explaining exactly what the paper looks like and feels like to give him an extra die at the risk of taking the stress as well?
Yes, you can.
You kind of peek over his shoulder and you look in the Vermissa and you're like, oh, yeah, no, that's not right. No.
Oh, my eyes. I like to think the table we're sitting at has drawers around the outside. I'm just pulling them open. This one? No. This one? No. This one? Ooh, what is that?
Well, there were no drawers. There's just like the planks of wood. You push them and they suddenly become a pop-up drawer.
You pull up like a yo-yo with someone's hand still attached. And like, oh, what is it? Oh, no, I should probably
no,
back.
Sorry, you wanted it back. Okay, fine.
Yes.
I'll take a 10, please, Bob.
Yeah, but more importantly, I think it needs to be noted that you handled that microphone like you're a member of Spandau Ballet, so good skills.
Thank you.
So true. Funny how it seems. Yes. The very first drawer you pull open, you pull out this sheaf of grey paper, and it is the exact grain and type that you want.
Oh, perfect.
He's a handy person to know this.
I think there's some ink in here as well. And a feather.
You just hear a goose squawk as you pull.
Pulls an entire photocopier out of the drawer. What?
What?
If we can find some way to make this work, it'll be really useful.
Now, you managed to find the paper and ink that will make this that much more convincing. And then it's over to Leon to actually make the document.
Okay. I want to go somewhere quiet because I don't want to just do it on a tea room table while Rex is drinking from a teapot.
Understandable.
Being very useful to the team.
I need
Now, your role is going to be Deceive and Academia. I will accept Deceive and High Society, which I happen to know you might be a bit good at.
Yeah.
And Samede will follow. If you don't already have 4 dice with that, I can offer to assist once again.
I was
by
going to say Rex can assist.
So I've got 3 dice on that.
So I could assist by explaining how the contract is supposed to look and how the seal is affixed.
Yeah, actually, that's the point. He gives you the rough draft, so that gives you a bonus dice.
Okay.
So you've got your 4 dice on it.
Oh, 4 dice. That's not good. That's okay.
That's all you can have.
Okay.
I know, right? In case you need to reroll with 2.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you are the photocopier that you need, and you copy out this document word perfect, translating the signatures across. You're even intelligent enough to switch ink for the 2 signatures, so they're in different inks.
Blue for Mr. Winter.
See what you did there. Nicely done.
Lucian, you're a genius. This is perfect.
Oh.
You want to be careful showing that to your executioner, mate, because it looks very real.
So Babako will meet me and we will deliver that. But Lucian, you need to go first after Rex has been there for a short while as a investigative reporter.
So Rex, you're up.
Yeah, question. I say this to Samedi. Should I not go quickly to Brother Hellion, because it's not going to take long, and then come back and help with Shea Longlegs? Because I'm not a good thinker, but I do know that when you beat someone up and kill them, the people that sent them tend to send bigger and scarier people after them. And maybe I should.
That's a very good idea.
If we have the time to wait, but I don't know. Like, I
Just-
can maybe meet up with them there midway through. If
I think meet
necessary.
us there. We will go and make sure everything is secure. But if
Okay.
you could join us just as soon as you can.
Yes.
I had to do the stabbing, and it's
Oh,
really
did you?
not my current
Was it not?
research
Was not your
area.
thing?
No.
Do we
Okay.
Yeah.
have
Yes, Rex.
somewhere?
Say to Brother Hellion that this is a down payment on services in your meeting. You must go back to meet with another group of knights to bring them in on this
Yes.
deal.
Do we have somewhere to hide She of Longlegs? I was just thinking, would it be crazy to ask the
Yeah,
Church
good
of the Gun
question.
to hide her for us? Obviously, we'll lie about who
That
she
might
is,
be a little bit. I don't trust them.
but surely it's the last place they'd look.
Person.
The Brick Street boys that I used to run with may be able to hide you down in Derelictus.
Oh,
if
good.
you-
Hide her at the Lazy Dog as well.
Well,
Ah, that's an even better idea. She'll
I
be safer
concur.
with your knights.
We've just got to make sure they don't have any charcoal because they will draw mustaches on their face.
that
But
reminds me, I saw.
I don't think they would do that to a midwife.
I think if they got
somehow.
drunk enough.
I'm pretty sure I
I think
saw.
they draw
Percival.
moustaches on pretty much anyone except the
Yeah.
midwife, but probably not a Lejeune.
Yeah, that's actually quite fair.
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah,
Next.
you're
I
implying
don't
that
think
you
it matters
know
how
she's
drunk you get. You're not
unconscious.
drawing a moustache on your mum.
Yeah.
That's a very good idea, Rex.
Never been to Scotland, Ben. no, no.
Rex, I saw Percival earlier today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
What
I think
was
he was. I think
yeah,
he was
was-
watering the canal.
Oh, he was standing resolute by the Arg, a fine, fine vessel, the finest we have.
It's the only
We
one.
made it ourselves.
Oh no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that is the boat I saw him.
Yeah, you can tell we have craftsmanship. We all got together, had a boozer, and then made it.
You can tell.
Wonderful.
You know, this thing is it's a big gun on the front. Surely it doesn't need
Yeah.
holes in the bottom. Shut up, put a gun on the front.
Yeah.
What's more important? More cannon.
Clearly.
Okay, so Nye, you're up first then in your
Okay.
little visit to Brother Hellion.
Yes.
So you return to the Church of the Gun.
Yes.
It's a little quieter now. The
Mhm.
sermons appear to be over, at least until the nighttime ones begin. The afternoon is a time more sort of for rest and preparation for the members of the church. You can't see Sister Pin anywhere. Brother Hellion is outside his tent cleaning his own pistols.
Okay. Well, I shall approach him. Hello, brother. It is good to see you on this fine
too, brother.
day. Yes.
What can I do for you today?
Well, for once.
Oh, I see you have our gift.
Yes, it was very nice.
I
The
must say, Sister
craftsmanship.
Pin was very taken by you and was keen to make sure you had a good one, not one of those sack ones that were given the other folks.
The thought is very much appreciated. What I was going to offer was that I have been, as you know, I'm well connected, and a couple nights have heard about what the gun, what you guys are doing here, and how impressed they are with your marksmanship and your duty to your weapons and what you're trying to do for the people here. So they would like to invest and maybe join, maybe get involved. Now obviously it's gonna be hard to take me just at my word, so I will bring round the funds and stuff like that. I do need to pop off actually once we've kind of
I
talked
thought they'd
about
given you the
this.
funds to drop off now.
They did. Yeah, you've got a bag of cash to give him.
Oh wait, it's right here. Sorry, the salesman that taught me his business went bust a week into its creation, but that's fine. Anyway, here's the money. It's all there. They really chipped in. They're great people. Now, I am going to have to pop off and actually go talk with some other knights who were interested.
He's not really listening to you at this point because he's staring at the sack of cash you've just given him.
Yeah, they're really eager, you know. I was like, they were like, another 100. And I was like, wow, you guys really want to support them. And they were like, yeah, it's just...
There are no strings attached to this deal.
Well, I mean, you have to take them on. They're like, if they're giving you the money, they're going to want to come and see the work. They're going to want to handle the guns, like, you know.
Seeing the work, handling the guns is what we're all about.
I mean,
they won't expect me to be doing any underhanded working for them.
Oh, no. These are knights. These are brothers and sisters and family to me. Just because they have a different tabard doesn't, mean that much. Pillars
and
of
women of
the
honor
community.
like yourself.
Exactly. And the best part is that they are very open-minded. The old girl, I kind of pat the lance behind me. She serves me well, but sometimes you need a gun. God, I'm choking on those words. And well, no, I'm not, but you know what I mean. I would not sully the relationship that we've cultivated by bringing you some kind of hackneyed deal. What I would say, though, is that I am going to, as I said, I do need to pop off not too long after we've kind of finalized things, or at the very least talked over, because I actually need to go speak to some other knights who I'm a little bit, a bit older, a bit more rooted in the old ways. So I'm going to just try and, ask about, see what comes of that. But we will have, I'll try and get them round to you when it's available.
Well, you brought us a great deal of prosperity and luck, Brother Lagrange, and it's a pleasure to have you all in the church. And you're welcome here anytime. And I must say, I will happily bless your union.
Oh, what?
Wow.
I'm now kind of
shotgun wedding.
Oh, that union. Right. Okay. So it's a bit kiss and tell. Never mind. Okay.
Kiss. Mm-hmm.
You were in a tent, young man.
I didn't
sound very well.
Okay.
Very bad for that.
Okay. Right. Am I forgetting anything? The knights are very on board.
You go and talk to these old men then. Make them see sense.
Yes, of course.
Humans can be allies to the drow. We'll be proud to stand by your side as brothers and sisters.
Yes, of course. Naturally. I shall bid you good day, and I shall hope to see you again in the future. And I'm going to go back, and I'm probably going to have to start running because I'm going to be thinking, fuck, oh no, I was meant to be there earlier. I don't say that loud, though.
Right, so Leon and Aaron.
Okay, I want to change my mask. Actually, I'm just going to remove my mask.
Ooh.
And I want to pretend to be a journalist now.
Face.
For the Liberty. I want to get some ink, and I want to smear some of the ink around my fingers to make it look like I write more often, so I could look more like a journalist. I'm going to have to lose probably the fancy jacket. Where can I get something crappy? Nadir.
I believe that your character comes with a couple of sets of clothing.
Oh, okay. I just want to look a bit rough around the edges, really. Nothing too hard, just kind of. So
you'd have your fine outfit for being a servant, but you'd also have like your sort of street clothes for bumming about at home.
Street clothes into, gotta look more like a writer. And I'm gonna head off to the Church of the Gun. I want to look kind of disheveled. Let's see, like I'm in a bit of a hurry. Okay.
So you arrive as they're setting up their evening sermons. So the three hooded and cowled daughters are lighting candles. The initiates, who Nice told you about, they're sort of three primary followers. They're stood by outside the revival tent. They've got guns of various kinds. There's the chap with the shotgun shell teeth. Sister Pin, who's got her twin pistols. at the ready.
I don't have my gun either. That's hidden because they've seen my gun and I
Because
think
they've
they'd
seen you
recognise
go.
it.
And they're more likely to recognise that than you, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I say. Hello there, brethren. I very desperately need to talk to Brother Hellion. It's of the utmost urgency.
Who are you? Says Weird Tooth Guy. He insists on talking despite being really bad at it.
I am Brunzius.
Yes.
Yep, close enough. I'm a
Virus,
writer
the
for.
Syrian assassin.
I'm a writer for The Liberty. You've probably definitely seen some of my articles.
Interviews.
Yes, I was doing a piece on the up-and-coming wonderfulness of the Church of the Gun, but I've stumbled upon something that I really think Brother Hellion needs to know about. I was researching your cause.
Well, come on, little way.
It's a nice gun. Follow him in.
Yep. Oh, Batty served me well.
Yeah.
He's got a big old shotgun.
Oh, yeah. Church. Yeah.
The church is a tent. Most of the sermons are delivered outside, but there's like a second sermon delivered inside for people who are closer to being converted, I suppose, or people who are converted. And the man inside is wearing a black outfit with a little white collar. He's got 2 guns on his hips and a bandolier of bullets across his chest both ways.
You must be.
What's you got for me there?
Brother Hellion.
Initiate Chambers. That's me, yes, I'm Brother Hellion. How can I help you?
I recognise you from your guns. Many people have described them to me. They look rather wondrous. I must introduce myself. I'm Brunsnius, and I have some urgent news. But first, I'll introduce myself. I write for The Liberty, and I've been writing a piece on the great works of your church. I've heard many mutterings of them. You're getting quite famous up and down the Spire, it must be said. And
In Liberty.
So I was writing.
It's a little bit of a seditious paper, isn't it?
Well, we like to think we're more middle ground, really. You know, for the intellectuals everywhere. Try not to lean one way or the other. As I say, it's more about people making an impact, and I write mainly about a lot of community projects, and we've seen a lot of the good works you've done. But it was in the process that I was actually researching your works and some of your benefactors and some of the things you're doing. I started to talk to some people. I found maybe we should go somewhere else a bit quieter for this. I don't know.
This is as quiet as it gets, boy.
Okay.
Nothing's getting past Chambers.
Well, I've heard some mutterings that someone may be out to get you. One of your benefactors from Mr. Winter's side of things. And
now, why on earth would that be?
I'm not
he's
entirely
just given
sure.
me a fresh set of. Anyway.
But all of the wonderful work you're doing, I'll be honest with you, Brother Hellion. I was originally investigating you, thinking that you were a salacious kind of cult leader, just trying to dupe the people and commit crimes. And the more I dug, the more I found you're a very honest individual, and the work of your church really speaks to me. And that's why I had to come find you straight away as soon as I heard about this.
I appreciate your candor, boy. You think that there's someone out to get me?
Yes, I
do. You
mean
like an assassin, or do you mean like arrest?
Like an assassin. Like to remove you from the picture was kind of along the lines that I heard. It was some discussion among some lieutenants that work for Mr. Winter.
And do you have a kind of date on this sort of event? Because it seems unusual to ask me to take certain steps and then to have me removed from the picture before they're actually carried out.
Well, I imagine that was maybe to stop arousing your suspicion. Obviously, is to pretend like business is normal. That would be my guess. But yes, I believe it's very soon, possibly tonight. It's going to be it's an actual government-sanctioned execution. So this isn't going to be down a dark alley somewhere. This is going to be officially allowed.
So out in public, and they Well, if the high elves have noticed me, then perhaps you may be onto something. And what's your evidence for this?
Well, all I can say was only the sources that I heard from the lieutenants in Mr. Winter's area. I believe one of them's called, they've all got rather snowy names. A Veil or something like that, Frozen.
Slush puppy.
Avalanche.
Big scary guy. The name's Slush.
Snowy
But
names,
they were
you
saying
say.
they want to
Sounds
actually
familiar.
replace you with someone they know is definitely going to carry out the task in the arena. And I am not really sure what that pertains to. I mean, I've seen obviously the
mentioned the
flyers going
arena.
around that there's some display in the arena. I don't know if it's to do with that.
But we're not officially a part of that. Nobody knows about the arena. How did you hear about that?
Well, I saw the flyers got handed out the other day. There's some reenactments.
But that's nothing to do with us.
Oh,
How did you hear that we had something to do with it?
That's what I'm saying. I was talking to some of these lieutenants, but I overheard some other lieutenants talking. On the
Well, that
table
gives
behind
credence
me.
to your words. If you heard them mention that, there's very few people who know. Well, I appreciate this information, boy. I suggest you make yourself scarce, because you don't bring war to the Church of the Gun
Yeah.
and not expect to see war come back at you.
Yes, I said I had to hurry here, so I don't know if I was followed. I tried my best not to be, but it sounded like it was all quite urgent. So I'm going to run on. But I really, Brother Hellion, the work you're doing is absolutely amazing for the
Well,
community.
perhaps we'll meet again and we can discuss this further. But for now, I need to mobilize my followers.
Yes, of course. I'll be going. May I receive a blessing before I go?
I'll tell you what, he pulls a bullet out of his bandolier and he gives it a little kiss and he says, you take this with you. Hold up. What did you say your name was?
Bronzenius. It's got a silent Q.
A silent Q?
Yes. Just after the F.
He hands you a bullet that has BQ carved into it.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Now you have the bullet with your name on it.
I'm not likely to shoot myself. And off I'll run.
Okay. So as you run off, you hear shouting and like orders being shouted behind you. Meanwhile, back at the crash,
Quick, we don't have much time.
there's a member of the guard stood outside.
Oh,
Which guard?
There is a member of the Valoran Standard stood outside. They're the last outstanding lawmen in Derelictus.
actually, the law and the order.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming serves the Alfia.
Well, they try to maintain what they do, but this is the dumping ground for anyone that is disliked amongst the guard. This is where you get promoted down to.
Mm-hmm.
If you get sent to Valoran Standard, you've done something that's pissed someone off. So the guard stood outside. He's kind of in a slouch. His armor's a bit dirty. He's unshaven. I keep thinking unshaven, but they're drow. They don't grow beards.
Mm-hmm. What
So his hair's a bit scruffy.
I'm going to use my ability. What does he most want to protect in this world? I don't even know his name.
He most wants to protect his own arse right now.
Mhm.
He's not happy about this. He wants to protect himself. He couldn't give a shit about anybody else. So he stood outside cleaning his nails with a combat knife, which itself isn't terribly clean.
Mhm. Well, I waltz right up like I belong here.
Mum, he says.
Yes.
He ignores you. You can walk right past him. It's a crash, isn't it? He looks you up and down, Alden, as you get close.
Hello.
Yeah, you're not allowed in. Sorry, mate.
Sir, he's
accompanying me.
Crime. Oh, all right. In you go then. Sorry.
You
Not
are
at all.
forgiven, my child.
Don't say that. Anyway.
Inside there is another Floran officer who's talking to the less kind of the two midwives. That you saw, the one who kind of let them take She of the Long Legs. And she's like, well, I can't understand it. Frankly, it's very strange. They came for her and they were taking her to the hospital. They had compelling evidence that she was a traitor, which is a little surprising, I must admit. And, well...
I conceal my face and, like, don't let myself be seen by this one who definitely recognized me. I suggest that my colleague do the same.
Oh, okay.
Is this a sneak roll?
Yes, it is now.
Oh,
yeah,
crap.
sneak low society.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, great. That's good.
Don't worry, I'm on my way to make things so much worse. So much worse.
I'm gonna try that one. My last reroll. Oh, look, it's also a 4.
Oh, look at that. Still a 4.
You're just the end of the pair of you are going. Well, actually, no. Weaves is okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, Alden, what's your total stress taken so far? This is an additional point of stress to Shadow now.
Oh, to Shadow. Shadow, I'm on mine. I've taken 8 points of stress on Shadow.
Okay, but what's your total Shadow? Or am I reading this wrong? It's not total, is it? It's current. So I'm rolling against your current Shadow.
My current Shadow is...
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. They sort of look around as you two walk in, but are busy talking. And Pat at least has the right robes on.
I'm doing my best to look like I'm helpful.
Locum midwife.
Oh, goodness. Well, I want to move as quickly past this one who I clearly don't trust to be on the up and up, and see if I can...
So there's an even younger midwife in the main hall with all of the children. And she's singing and clapping and kind of, she's got that look about her of, why am I currently in charge of every damn child in the creche when there's supposed to be 5 of us on duty? You lot probably wouldn't know it as well as I do, but I
sing
know
some
it.
of the songs.
But the other young midwife that you know isn't there.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of move in towards her and help her with her duties. And in between breaths, I'm going to kind of ask her where the other midwives
She's
are.
overcome with gratitude as your help arrives. She's like, so sorry, but She of the Long Legs is unwell and she's upstairs, and my other sister's caring for her, and then the guard arrived and someone had to speak with them, so I'm left with all the children.
Oh, you poor thing. Allow me to assist. I'm only visiting from one of the lower crashes, but it's the least I can do.
She looks over at the guard and she sort of leans in close and says, actually, if you could get She of the Long Legs out of here and to another creche, that would probably be a help.
Would that be? I can probably do that, yes.
She's upstairs.
Your assistance is most appreciated. I'm so sorry to leave you with all the children once more.
It's okay. It's about time for a snack, children.
Yeah, yes it is.
When in doubt.
When in doubt.
Put food in front of them.
Feed them and nap them. We have another colleague who will be joining us shortly. He's quite hard to miss.
Big, large, loud.
He's very lovely, though. He's very good with children.
Very friendly. Yes.
Yes.
Well, if he makes it past the guards, I'll see what I can do.
Let's go get our crash mother and help her. Oh, goodness. Thank you for your assistance. And they hurry on upstairs. Presumably avoiding the woman that I don't trust.
Upstairs in a small bedroom, you've got She of the Long Legs sitting up, propped up against some cushions on a bed, looking still slightly the worse for wear, a little bit drunk, a little bit post-operative. And sat with her on the bed is the young drow midwife that you remember from earlier. And she's got a tray of soup and she's sort of feeding soup to She of the Long Legs.
Do I would say we meet again.
Sister,
what might I call you?
I'm Fields Falling Falls.
Sorry, Fields?
Fields Falling Falls. I know, what were my parents thinking? But that's me.
Like this?
Close. Fields rather than fields.
Okay.
No
Fields.
Feelings, like in feelings. Whoa, 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 feelings.
Fields Falling Falls.
Fields Falling Falls, not fees. Feel.
Yeah.
Touchy-feely feels.
That was a typo.
That one. Okay, yes. There you go.
Fields Falling Falls. Thank you so much for looking after her after we dashed away.
We need to get her out of here. Are you and your companion able to assist?
Absolutely. In any way that we can. Is the front door an option?
The front door is not an option. Do you have a safe house that she can go to?
Well, I do have my own crash that I could bring her back.
And do you trust everyone at your own crash to not turn her in?
I trust at least one of them, my closest confidant. But there are a variety of other places we could take her.
Well, don't tell me. It's best that she get out of here. If I don't know, they can't torture it out of me.
There we are.
It's very bold of you. Thank you.
I appreciate your assistance. Is there anything I can do for you?
At the end of the hall, there is a metal staircase that leads to the alley out back. If you take her out that way and around to the side, the guardsman won't know.
Okay.
Now, there is something you could do for me.
Yes.
You could punch me very hard in the face.
Take a sip of wine.
No need. This won't be the first time.
I apologize.
Make it look good.
Will be done.
You punch her in the face. She sort of rocks back and comes back with a... Yes, that was indeed a very serviceable strike. I am going to fall over now. And if you could take the mother out, that would be wonderful. So once you help She of the Long Legs up off the bed, she kind of throws the soup all over the floor and then lays down on the bed and kind of like this, arranges herself a little. Arms up or arms down?
One arm over the back of the cushion looks good.
There we go.
The other one's
go quickly.
Comfortable with. Anyway,
be safe. So you sneak out with She of the Long Legs. So I would like you to make another sneak roll.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Sneak Low Society. I'm assuming max 4.
Sneak Low Society.
You just hit, or whoa, that was 4d6, not 4d10. Whoops. Yeah. 4d10. Okay, I'll take that.
That's
literally every single roll this time has been like playing to my strengths. I don't know what the fuck is up with that.
Please hold. What am I doing again?
So you creak this wooden window open. You know what crash windows are like, though, so you're prepared for when the slight irregularity would normally make a creak. Oh,
honey.
Oh,
wow, you are bad at this.
I think I go back down the stairs.
How do you only have
step
one dice on this?
Because he's not a sneaky sneaker.
A no low society.
He's not a sneaky sneaker.
It's not my thing.
You
my God.
step in the bowl that she was delivering soup from, and there's a crash as you do so. And you hear
I look at
footsteps
you.
running up from downstairs.
What? Okay, go. I can get out. You need
Yeah,
to go.
I look at you and say, don't go through this door.
So that's 2 points of shadow stress.
Wow.
But you're okay, because I rolled a 9.
Yeah.
And the booted feet come thundering up the stairs.
I'm going to pull a Vermisian door at this point and just
So
bug
a
out.
guardsman barges into the door just in time to see you opening a hole into space-time through a door. This drow midwife slumped on the bed where she's clearly been punched, and you step through the door and disappear into the Vermisian.
Whoop.
Guess who's wanted for beating up midwives?
Oh, crap.
Shit.
Is it me? Yeah, I thought so.
Meanwhile, Aaron, you arrive, or your friend arrives at the tea house, and you head off together.
So, if it's okay with you, I'll speak for Babako because I know what I want him to say.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So Babako and I start heading down. Now he's dressed in his formal executioner's wear. So he's got his armored breastplate, his long black coat, his black tricorn hat, and his white featureless mask. He's got a military saber at his side, and he's carrying a hawk rifle in one hand and the death certificate in another hand. And I'm walking next to him with Ged, and we're just stately approaching the camp of Brother Hellion until someone approaches us.
No one's approaching you, but you can see that some boxes have been arranged in like a little V formation that would lead into the camp. And there are a number of rifle and shotgun barrels resting on top of them. And as you get closer, there are a number of clicks.
So we stop, and Babako says, I am here to investigate, I think, an injustice against the bureaucracy of the Spire. I mean no harm and can promise in the name of Damnau that no one here will be hurt by my hand or the hand of my companion this day. But I need to speak with Brother Hellion. He may step forth with as many guards as he wishes.
There's a momentary pause, and then Brother Hellion steps out with 2 of his daughters. The daughters stand at the mouth of the tent, and he approaches on his own with his hands out. His fingers do twitch ever so slightly once in a while.
Brother Hellion, I am Babako of the Morticians Guild, a sanctioned executioner. I was handed your death certificate today. In reading it, I found some irregularities. Unlike my other brothers who had simply come down here with the army, I want to make sure that only those who are truly deserving of death have their death certificates delivered. One of the oddities of this certificate was that after your death, you were supposed to be immediately fed as carrion to a beast so that nothing remained of your body, save the bones, which were to be ground into paste. I consulted with this carrion priest, and he told me that you are actually a hero of sorts here in Derelictus. However, this death certificate states that you are an escaped patient from Bedlam Hills, signed by the chief doctor. He says you are a maniac and that you have tried to be retrieved by his orderlies on several times, and you've executed all of them. It is countersigned by a very well-known businessman in Derelictus, a Mr. Winters. They claim you are a madman who seeks to destroy all drow. My associate here, Samede, has told me that this cannot be true. So I come to you to know the truth. What say you to the claims that you are an escaped mental patient from Bedlam Hills, as testified to by the doctor and by Mr. Winter? And at that point, he hands over the death certificate so that it can be read by Brother Hellion.
Takes the certificate and he reads it and he looks confused and concerned, and he looks at me and says, well, sir, I can testify a great many things, but I have never been a patient in that hospital. As far as I was aware, that hospital was for the treatment of the mentally ill among the drow population and not for humans like myself. In addition, if you would care to step inside, and if you good folks would put down your arms, I would show you that there are many drow among my congregation, none of whom are suffering now, but many of whom were suffering before they joined my organization. Let me say also that I find it very odd that a businessman such as Mr. Winter would be the counter-signatory on a death certificate, when surely that would be something for an official government representative to deal with.
You make my point exactly. There are too many irregularities in this death certificate for me to take it at face value, but know that whoever orchestrated this death certificate saw to it that it was done through official channels.
Well, sir, as to my insanity, I invite you to discourse with me and discern for yourself whether you feel I am insane. While I have seen strange and unusual things, and I have beheld great and powerful things, I do not consider myself to be a lunatic nor a maniac. Rather, to consider myself to be an enlightened individual who has seen the other side and brought back the gift of knowledge.
Igor, I will take you up on that. Allow me to go speak with members of your congregation while you speak with my associate, the Carrion priest. I think he had some other information that he wanted to pass on to you.
It would be my pleasure. Good people, please give your full assistance to this important member of the local constabulary as he goes about his business. We have nothing to hide. Share all that you would share with any new brother or sister.
So as he walks off,
over to talk to Samedi.
Samedi looks at him, looks over again. He goes, "Sit. I don't know if you've heard about me or not. These are my hunting grounds.
I heard of you, Avenger. They say that you are a man of brutal but honest nature, that you hunt those who harm others, and that you perform the justice that others would not.
That is
Some
correct.
call you a punisher.
I do punish those who are guilty of trespassing against the people of Derelictus. You, however, are not one of those, which is why I stopped that executioner before he came down here with the army. You may have been tricked, however. I've heard that Mr. Winter is planning on destroying Mother Moon and her arena, and I think he wanted to use you as a pawn. I also have heard rumors that this doctor at Bedlam Hills is actually an Aelfir working his own foul magics and may have plans of his own in the arena. What orders were you given by Mr. Winter?
My most recent instructions were to assist Mother Moon in the arena in the way she had required, which was to serve as guards to prevent any overspill from an event they have going on with some convicts, I believe.
Then let me ask you a question. If you were there and your people were there and you saw the arena's crowds being torn to pieces, would you help them escape or not?
Why, sir, we would help the crowd escape at a moment's notice. We would give our all to help the people of this area They have suffered long enough. And we bring enlightenment through the gun. We do not bring death, except to those who call for it.
Exactly. I think Winter knows that you're a man of conviction, a man of the people. I think he wants to make sure that whoever is leading your parishioners to that arena is someone who will stay the course and prevent anyone from escaping that arena alive. You have a hard choice to make.
Sir.
I think you have a very hard choice to make. It's time that you stand as the fourth pillar in Derelictus against Mr. Winter, against the sisters, against Mother Moon. You have the power to rally the drow in the name of Damn Now and the gun. It's time for you to make a stand with whatever allies you can forge.
On which exciting note, we will wrap it up there. Dun, dun, dun. Cliffhanger ending. Excellent work, people. Thank you very much. We are back next week. We've actually run for 3.5 hours tonight. So sorry if I've kept everybody up too late in the UK. And sorry if I've ruined your dinner in the US. But we covered a hell of a lot of ground today. So come and join us next week for the penultimate part of Bedlam Hill, probably. As all the pieces are now in motion, we just need to point them in the same direction or different directions to where they're currently pointing and see where that leads us. Thank you very much, players. It would be remiss of me to leave without pointing out that Miss Pat has a Kickstarter page going live imminently.
Would you like me to
stars? I don't know if you're allowed. Stick it in the chat for this.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it in the chat.
Pose it across.
Boop. That's our Kickstarter page. We are so frigging excited. It's been about a year, but we're putting this out.
Spacey goodness from the good folks over at Diesel Shot for Changed Stars. Take a look, follow along, find out what's going on when the page kicks off.
We're going to be
next week on Garblag Games. We will hopefully not have anybody ill, which means that on Monday we'll have our Expanse watch party, courtesy of Millie the GM, as she does lazy GM prep for her Expanse game, which is rapidly approaching as we get towards Series 2. I think we're going to get about halfway through Series 2 before the game can start. Tuesday, Mega Meta Mighty Spacey Goodness from Traveller.
Tuesday.
Thursday. Tuesday is not Traveller. Tuesday is
awesome
Hyperbolics, isn't it? It's awesome ass, yeah.
Sword and Sorcery in Hyperborea.
That's the one.
Yes, that's the one. I'm getting my days wrong. Thursday is Spacey Goodness. Wednesday is
Warhammer,
which Aaron knows well because he's playing in that. And they have an elf and Roger in the same game.
But he's not a dwarf.
He's not a dwarf.
So I think that counteracts it somehow, or not.
We do have a dwarf.
Have got Traveller on Thursday, Spire on Friday, and
that's the
weekend off. That's us for next week.
Weekend off.
Today I had my production training for setting up games and doing stuff. So if we find ourselves in a situation where we're suddenly GM-less, gameless, prepless, I might just leap on stream and talk shit at you for an hour or two. But do come and join us next week. It's been a pleasure to have everybody here tonight. Thank you very much and good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Night.